someone to share lonely hours and the moments of despair, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved. Someone to kiss, someone to miss when you're away, to hear from me today, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, oh, what a feeling to be loved. Some wish to be a king or a queen. Some wish for fortune and fame. But to be truly, truly, truly loved is more than all of these things. Oh, someone to kiss, someone to miss when you're away, to hear from me today, to be loved, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved, to be loved, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be
So,
someone to care,
so,
someone to share
there's the humble.
lonely hours.
So what is love? What is love? So many things written. What is love? Love is this, and love is the absence of. Love is always, and love is never. Love is love. Love is nothing else but love. It is a thing in itself. It is the cause of the world. It is the cause of our heartbeat. It is the cause of the creation of a new baby. It is the cause of the world. It is the impulse to be unselfish. You don't be unselfish to love. When you love, you're automatically unselfish. When you love, you're looking for the other person. You're looking for how they're feeling, what they need. Are they okay? You don't be nice to love. When you love, you're automatically nice. When you love, you automatically care. And when you love, when a man loves, he will defend his love. And he will not allow her to be disrespected. And he will not allow her to be made unhappy or afraid by anyone. By anyone. Well, howdy there. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Well, how come I ain't hearing the humble? Oh, because I turned down my... No. Get off my... Get out of here. What is this? No. That's enough. Oh, my Lord. look what happens. The computer took over and is playing one of the greatest songs. All right. I'm going to go. Then there's the other thing. Oh, you find that connection. You find that other half. You find that person you always knew. And what do stupid men do? Oh, they fall in love and they're all glowing and happy and giving. And then they become monsters. All over the world. Not just on the personal levels, but with the war and the terror and the cruel men, cruel, sick, evil, wicked, twisted men. And they love helpless women. They love to come upon women, helpless women with children. Poor world, poor, afflicted world. My Lord. So I once called, there's this Risha. Wait, I gotta have a sip of my Tangy right now. I need it bad. Oh, what a week I had. I got things to tell you. I got some stories. Oh, Tangy. Okay. Now we can have a show. There we go. So, I once spoke to, what's her name, Risa, the one who does the astrology in the paper, Risa stars, And I asked her, are you following me around or something? Is there some kind of surveillance going on? Sometimes her horoscopes are amazing. So I got this horoscope. You seek enlightenment and illumination of thoughts through achievement in the world. Well, yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's an interesting statement because on the one hand, I don't care. I do what I think I'm supposed to do. I try to serve, and I try to serve selflessly. But you seek enlightenment and illumination of thoughts through achievement in the world. Well, in a way, I'm doing things, and you learn as you go how you conduct yourself. It doesn't matter. You could sit in a cave, or you could be running 7 businesses. You have it or you don't. You're decent or you're not. You're honest or you're not. Sitting in a cave, you can be pretty dishonest, I'm sure. Concerned with reputation, honor, recognition, and fame, you learn how to influence others and be an enlightened, intelligent, loving authority. Wow. So here, concerned with reputation, honor, recognition, and fame. To me, that's ego weakness. To be concerned about that. That's not a yogi. And I do have that affliction, but I keep my eye on it, and it will fade. You learn how to influence others and to be an enlightened, intelligent, loving authority. Well, coming along. Assuming more responsibilities helps you learn how to lead with power and love. Power and love. Has to be both. When one is without the other, leadership is hollow. Leaders learn through suffering. Oh, I've been learning lately. I guess I've been learning a lot lately. So, okay. So we got a break coming up. All right, I'll tell you. There's something I want to talk to you about, but I think maybe we'll go out with the, and the thing about women is that women have this very special, they can be hard, they can be strong, but they have this very special softness that a man does not have. They have a very special love, the motherly thing, that a man does not have, And there's something about women that is so extraordinary. And men are drawn to it, but they don't want to They don't want to recognize it. They don't want to admit it. Because men are always competing. Women compete too with each other. Some women compete with men, and that's not wise. If you win, you lose, and if you lose, you lose. Better not to compliment him. Tell him how great he is. You want to make money? You want to have a good life? You want your man to have confidence and be strong? Tell him good things about himself. Don't knock him down every chance you have. Women don't know how hard it is for a man out. Everything on his shoulders. He's got to make a living. He's got to keep the job, or he's got to get the job, or he's got to get the contract, or he's got to come through for somebody. And she doesn't know why he didn't get home for dinner. And he can't imagine why she would be upset when he's busting his ass and going through hell to try to get this prize to bring home. But then there's the mother. The mother. The blessed, divine, most beautiful creatures, the mothers and their babies. There's no love like a mother's love. And when you find a woman who has that kind of love, you better behave. You better behave. And you better be good. And you better be kind. Because if she dies before you, you won't have another happy day.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. In the world of sports performance, you're not going to find a more popular and important anabolic strength-boosting supplement than glutamine, therapeutic nutrient that does a lot more than build muscle. Glutamine's reputation as a go-to building nutrient is well-deserved, and it's been used as such by bodybuilders and weightlifters for decades. It can also help athletes after prolonged strenuous exercise by preventing the breakdown of muscle and reducing inflammation. You don't have to be a gym rat to enjoy its anabolic bodybuilding benefits. Breastfeeding infants depend on it as a growth-inducing element, and up to half of the amino acids in mother's milk are glutamine. And if you're hooked on sweets, glutamine can help with sugar addiction. Under certain conditions, brain cells can convert the amino acid into glucose, and this may make it useful for beating cravings. Glutamine is found in high-protein foods. Whey protein is an especially good source, so are organ meats and seafood, as well as eggs and dairy. If you're a vegetarian, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get dietary glutamine. You'll find some in beans, soy, and other lentils, as well as beets, cabbage, and collard greens. As a nutritional supplement, glutamine is readily available as tablets or capsules. 0.5 gram to 2 grams a day is a good starting dose. If you're in the gym a lot or in recovery from surgery, or if you're ill, you may need higher doses. Use it once or twice a day, adding 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoonful of the straight powder. It's tasteless. To a protein smoothie or a glass of water. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report. I don't know if you feel a little sluggish in the middle of the afternoon like I do, but if you do, I'm going to suggest you try Pollen Burst. It's an orange-flavored energy drink that comes in a packet, and it tastes a lot like that other orange drink the astronauts used to drink. You know the one. Pollen Burst contains vitamins A, B1, B3, B6, B12, pantothenic acid, vitamin D3, and gluconolactone, all designed to give you an energy boost that can last for hours. Pollen Burst comes in a box of 30 packets for $56 or 2 boxes for $100, and you can order it right now at kscoteam.com. The next time you feel tired and need a little boost, skip the coffee, soda, or candy bar and mix up a cold glass of Pollen Burst and do your body some real good. Go to kscoteam.com.
Howdy there. Hello. Got the humble one there. So what are we hearing here in the background? Why am I not? I got my sets down. There I am. Oh, this is too loud. Okay. So there's something in the background there, and you see, in it's funny. Remember America show, Spirit of America Rising, and I'm playing Hindu music, but it's here in America too. There's another matter, and that is most men desperately need the right woman for them, because a woman can take those can point out those blind spots, which is hard for the man to take. That's why some women get hit. Some men will do anything to keep from hearing the truth. The things that they rely on, the things they think are them, the things that, the jock stuff or the the accomplishments, that male, that machismo kind of thing. Not necessarily tough and strong. It could be business, how smart I am, how well I play chess. Doesn't matter. Or I'm especially handsome and other women look at me. All that nonsense, and they play up to you just to get at your wife, who they're jealous of. they don't care about you most of the time. They don't really want you. You're just another one, So a woman can point these things out. A woman can force a man to be strong. She can force a man to be real. She can force a man to be brave. She can give him a reason to be great. One woman I could try for. One woman I could try for. Touch the sky for. Live or die for. Oh, yeah, it's a song I wrote called One Woman. Almost a big hit. Couple big mistakes there. Let's not go there. Keep it a happy show. And, if a man will respect a woman and force himself to listen when she's expressing herself, he'll learn something about her, and he'll learn something about himself. There's a lot of loose women running around, wrecking homes. There's men wrecking homes. It's a great sin to be a home wrecker. Great sin. All the trouble it causes. All the grief to the children and everything. Well, they weren't getting along. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's see how you get along afterwards. After the thrill is gone. So a woman can slay the ego of a man. And that's why in the mythology of the Hindus, they have Kali Ma, the slayer, and she has men's heads hanging all around her belt as she does her wild dance, with blood dripping from her mouth from where she ripped them open. The ego slayer, slayer of ignorance, slayer of pride, Kali Ma. JJ Kali Ma. That's the power of a woman. Female power to slay the male ego. Ah, she does the dance. She does the mighty, powerful, slaying dance on top of the ego and all the pictures and stuff. She's dancing on the dying ego with fierceness. She slays the false man and frees the imprisoned man, as only a great woman can do. Praise you, God. Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, indeed. Starting to have a little fun around here. They're trying to go into another one. I got to head them off at the pass. See, this stuff's on YouTube. Now, YouTube, it's out there for everyone to hear freely. Some of my music is on YouTube. People are hearing it. What am I going to do? Sue somebody? And say I want the 92 cents that I should be getting so far? So it's out there, and you know, the music's being heard. I see a lot of hits. I got millions of hits on the web on different songs, the Archies and other things, a lot of different songs. And I get royalty statements sometimes. I get like 4, 5, 8 pages, many columns on every page. Plays, downloads. 2 cents, 1 cent. There's a big one, 11 cents. Add it all up, it's $23.71. It ain't easy. What a rotten profession. Somebody's making really big bucks. And what they're selling, the person who created the reason for the sale, what they're selling, gets like let me see now, a little, tiny little speck of the shell, and like they scrape like 3 little tiny specks off the edge of a peanut. And that's what you get. But the music's being heard, and that is something for a poor boy from Philadelphia with all kinds of afflictions and this and that. But boy, he had talent and he had drive, and he was just going to make it, man. He knew he was going to make it. And a lot of good things happened. Then at one point I got enlightened somewhere along the way and said, I don't care about any of this anymore, but I still did. Came and went. Suffered a lot through the years, trying to get back to what I threw away, and then realizing I really just don't want it. And now at 73 years old, I think I could have like 12, 15, who knows? I could have a whole bunch of gold records on my wall. So they'd be hanging somewhere, or they'd be in storage somewhere, and what does it matter? What does it matter? Can impress somebody. People don't get impressed, they get jealous and envious. Oh, Lord help us. So yeah, I could have a bunch of, it's a song I wrote. Now, all my songs and writings that you hear on this show are my property. Mine. You should have stopped me there, Jason. You really should have stepped in as my producer and cut that part short. Anyway, if you make copies and want to listen to them, I don't care. If you want to play them for someone else, I don't care. But if you're going to make money on them, I have to be included, or I get real nasty about my little babies. So gold records on the wall. There's an old song I wrote called The Girl Who Loved Me When. And then I added another part to it. And I think I'll call it All the Gold Records. But The Girl Who Loved Me When's a great title. But I think All the Gold Records is better. And it goes kind of, it says like, People say I'm a big star now. People say I'm a big star now. Made my way to the top somehow. I got more money than I know how to spend. Makes it easy to make new friends. But I keep thinking about the time when I was no one and the world was mine. We lived on candy and laughter then. Me and the girl who loved me when. Whoa, all the gold records hanging on my wall. All the big stages and the crowds that roar. I'd walk away, I'd trade it all to be back with you. Kicking leaves in the fall. Kicking leaves in the fall. That line came to me. I needed a line there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it came. Kicking leaves in the fall. I love that image. Two people walking along, hand in hand, arm in arm, kicking leaves in the fall. Then it says, I was trying hard in a lonely town. She always said, they'll never keep you down. Never understood her leaving and the way she smiled. She met a boy. They had a child. I got my fame and my phony friends. But late at night when the party ends, I close my eyes and I pretend I'm with the girl who loved me when. All the gold records hanging on my wall, all the big stages and the crowds that roar. I'd walk away, I'd trade it all to be back with you, just kicking leaves in the fall. I like that song. Ronnie Dante asked me for a country song. I got to get that one to him. I got a little demo of it somewhere if I could ever find my flash drives. Lord have mercy. I found Superman yesterday. Then I put him somewhere good. Now I don't know where to. Superman might have that song on that Superman flash drive. All right. So we got 5 minutes left. I was looking at this French election. Yeah. It says turn out sharply down. People are afraid. They figure there's going to be an explosion somewhere. So these terrorists might be doing another Donald Trump thing and not even know it. All the trouble they've caused. There are people who are very passionate for the somewhat underdog, the woman running, who wants to close the borders, get rid of all the foreign troublemakers, etc. Her followers are very passionate. And the other guy's got a much broader, big mainstream, Those are the people more likely to stay home. Her supporters are going to show up, turn out, so she might win. Pretty soon there'll be nowhere but the Middle East for the crazies to be. And what's going to happen there? I've had some interesting glimpses about our fleet out there. I hope it's not true. That Armada off of the nut jobs country. 150,000 Chinese troops on the border. And a huge American armada there. Time is passing. They're talking. They're negotiating. Meanwhile, more and more and more is put in place. And when all the ducks are in a row, that's when the action starts. Probably it'll be some specific date that has meaning. July 4th, that far away? Memorial Day. How about around Memorial Day? Maybe that's when something will happen. They can't make peace with the guy. I'm not some great psychic. You can't make peace with someone like that. It won't work. He'll just, he's not going to go away. He's not going to change. He's not going to stop. It's trouble, big trouble there. That's got to be diffused. So maybe a deal was made. Hang on. This microphone keeps inching over, trying to steal the spotlight. I don't put up with that. How many people we got actually watching on the stream? One? Jason's checking.
Yeah, what do we got? Let's see. Loading.
Hold on.
We got about,
He's
11. 11 watching.
So the longevity products are great. Try them. You got back trouble, wrist trouble, joint trouble, vision trouble. Give Dr. Wallach a chance. What do we got?
We got 11 watching.
Wait a minute. What's wrong? Oh, what was that? Maybe I'll hear you now. Go ahead. All right, I hear you.
We got 11 people watching.
Streaming.
Watching YouTube. KSCO Global.
Yeah, that's good to announce that. How many are listening?
You'll have to give me just a moment here.
A moment of dead air time, huh? I don't think
no.
that's going to work, Jason.
No. Hey, it's your show, bud.
Oh, you didn't find out how many are listening?
I have to log into the thing. It takes a password and all that
right.
stuff.
See what I have to put up with, everybody? See this? Hey, Jason, just, if you can get to it, that would be cool.
After the break, for sure.
Yeah. I have more to tell you, but we're back at the break again. Somebody called. What did they want? Who in the hell called up my show at that time of the morning?
They wanted to hear some copyrighted music.
My music?
No.
Oh, don't ever get rid of them.
Captain Dave Michaels here, inviting you to join us for some fun aboard Flight 1080.
Flight 1080, 180 minutes of Mach speed talk radio.
The ladies love the crew on Flight 1080.
I listen to 1080 so I can hear the same exact traffic every day.
Flight 1080, where you can unload your baggage for free.
And I listen because it's the only station that comes in.
Flight 1080 for your last choice in radio.
Flight 1080, keeping you lifted through your afternoon rush hour.
Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m., right here on KSCO.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My name is Dave Ramos, and I'm one half of the Veterans Take Charge radio show. We've had troops, veterans, and supporters from all over the world speak with us about their military experience, the influence that they've brought, and the service that they honorably provide. I invite you to join my battle buddy, Justin Baker, and I as we discuss the rules of engagement on today's Battlefield America. Operations occur every Sunday at 1600. That's every Sunday at 4 p.m. on AM 1080 KSCO.
So, there's the humble one. Turn up that. There. Pretty good. Not like usual. I don't know what's wrong here. What's this? Does that make any difference? I think it made a difference. Maybe not. Hey, Jason.
Yes.
What? I can't hear you. I'm just messing with you, Jason. Sitting there moving my lips and not saying anything, and Jason's like hitting all the controls. I like to see him do that once in a while. Makes me feel important. Makes me feel loved and tended over.
It's a good bit for TV. I don't know if it plays on radio.
All right.
We got about 300 listeners online.
How many?
About 300. 302.
Well, that's online. That's people who got up early in the morning, troubleshot their computer, called up their tech friend, got everything ready, and listened on their computer. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That means about 3,000 are listening. Who dares to call, Jason? I'd like to know who dares to call at 17 before 11. Who? All right, folks. Here's what I want to share with you. In India, when they want to catch a monkey, they take a vase with a narrow opening. Should be here. Okay. Just big enough for an average monkey's hand to fit in. Then when the monkey reaches down in the hole in the ground, because it smells, they put a piece of ripe fruit down inside that vase. The fruit by itself would come out, would fit. The monkey's hand by itself would fit. But the monkey's hand holding that fruit cannot get out of the vase. So the vase is buried in the ground. The monkey can't get it loose. So the monkey reaches in and down into the vase where he smells the good fruit, and he grabs the fruit with his hand. The monkey tries to pull his hand out of the vase, and it won't fit. It's holding the fruit. The monkey will not drop that fruit. He will yank and try and try. He might let go of it, then out comes his empty hand. So he goes down, grabs it again. If he even goes that far, the monkey will not let go of that fruit, and it leads to his capture and maybe his death. Maybe monkey tails are big this year, you know. So it's like there's this car that I have. And it was a good car for a long time. Then some things happened, you know, some unfortunate things happened, you know. And then I got another car. I got a nice car that I'm driving around through someone's kindness and, you know, just circumstances, how it worked out. So the old car, I had a friend of mine from India. I beg you, Baba, get rid of that car. Don't do it. And I thought, it's a nice little 4-cylinder. It's pretty good looking. You know, and some backyard mechanic guy who does pretty good work said he would, who is that? Hang on. Okay. So he said he'd put another motor in. He'd find me a good motor and put one in. He would only charge $200 to put it in. So I got a motor for a couple $100, and then he put it in for a couple $100. He said it was a really good, and it is a good, strong motor. Just, you know, hums or roars. I mean, starts right up. It's a great motor. So he puts that in the car. But my friend from India, where the car was sitting at that time, don't, Baba, don't. Just, I'm begging you, he said to me, get rid of that car. It's like he knew. But I thought, no, extra little 4-cylinder car sitting around. So he works on the car, and he's around for a week or so, and he winds up hitting it off with this guy's wife and ripping off this guy's wife. All right? So that's the first mark against this car, you know? So the car gets, from that time on, he, in my mind and in my expressions, he's a dirty little bum. That's what I call him, a dirty little bum. Because he could have waited, you know, if there was some inevitable problem or something, he could have waited, let the breakup happen, and then you step in. You don't enhance the breakup. It's called home wrecking, taking advantage when things are a little trouble. So I don't like the guy. I'll never respect him again. He's a bum, dirty bum, in my opinion. So that's the first thing that happens. Then I take the car to get it registered. It was on some special non-op, not exactly non-op. It's called something else, where the benefits wouldn't mount up. You know, I mean, what am I doing here? The fees were not to increase or anything like that. And I get a guy who wants to buy the car. I put it up for sale, and I'm getting calls from dealers and scammers and all kinds of things. One guy, I just want to take the car to Mexico. I don't have a license. You know, I'll give you the money. But he doesn't want to transfer it to his name. So, yeah, right. That sounds real good. Yeah, that sounds like it'll work out fine. If someone gets, you know, I don't know, anything could happen. So I have it parked now at the station. It's for sale. And one guy was going to buy it. We got to the counter. It turned into a nightmare with this rotten lady at the DMV. They're usually really nice now, but we got maybe the only rotten one left. And, well, throwing paper signs. It's over. We're closed. Go away. It's like, what? So the guy goes away. I don't sell it for $500, and it winds up where he says, oh, all right, well, I still want the car, blah, blah, blah. And then a day or so later, it's like, he's not calling. He found something else and realized he doesn't want all the unknowns. And I thought about it, and I thought, I need to break free with this car. Then I was going to give it to someone. And I thought, well, that'd be another day at the DMV. It's like my time is very valuable for a lot of reasons, creatively and money-wise. Right now, my time's very valuable, and I've spent so much time and a little extra money yet on this car. And I realize this car is a test. It's the monkey with his hand in the vase. And I don't want to let go of that car, and that damn car is going to kill me if I don't get rid of it. That car's going to finish me. So I realized tomorrow I go see my friend Mark, who owns a towing company, and say, what do I do to get rid of this car? Will you please tow it away? The motor's great. The tires are good. I don't want to sell it to anyone. I want it to go away and be clean. I want to part with it clean. I don't want someone to ride down the road and a wheel flies off or something and I sold them a bad car. I just got that feeling about the car. The smartest thing to do is get rid of it clean. Don't pass on the karma, because then it's still your karma. If something happens, there's something about the car ain't right. And it's got some signs, but the motor's good, the tire's good. I could try to sell it now. If you're a mechanic and you really know how to look over a car and get it together, but I don't want to go to the DMV with you, I'm done with it. I don't want another trip to the DMV. It's not worth a few $100s to me. I'm not going to do it. It's trouble. It's waste. So, tomorrow, that car gets towed away. I'm going to make the arrangements, God willing, and let go of that piece of fruit, pull my little paw out of that vase, and get myself free. So, there's a lot of people, hold on, there's people have businesses that are killing them, and they don't need it anymore. They won't let it go. They'd rather die. They'd rather remain in the trap and die than let go of that piece of fruit that they have always enjoyed, but now it's different. It's become a weight around their neck. And it'll finish them. I can clearly see. So, many examples of the fruit and the monkey. A man, oh, he's so good looking, all the girls are jealous. Yeah, but he slaps you twice a week. Oh, but he's so rich. Yeah, but he treats his servants better than you. He doesn't respect you. And he's gonna, he's never gonna marry you or whatever. You hold on to that piece of fruit, you waste your time, and you wind up worse than before. So know what you really want, know what you really need. Don't hold on to anything that is destructive, that is bad for you. If it makes you feel bad, it's not good for you. If it makes you unhappy, it's not making you happy. If you keep getting tricked, it's never going to be honest. The monkey and the fruit and the hole in the ground. It's an old, old story as the world goes round. I'm making this up right off the top of my head, but it's no big thing. Just things I've already said. All right. I think we need some Yasos now. Some people listen to this show for spirituality because they like to get high for free and take part in what we do. So let's get some Yasos going. And we'll do this breath technique that you should know, you should learn, you should teach it to others, because we as a nation have to become centered and strong. Terrible times might be coming. It's better if we have control of ourselves. And we know little tricks. I wonder why, is there a reason I'm not hearing the Yasos music? It's on, Jason? Yasos is on? No? Yes? Guess it went by.
What happened?
What's that? All right. All right, we'll pretend we're hearing the Yassos music. Maybe it's on. I'm not hearing it. It's on? No. Jason's working on it. No big deal. Okay, you remember the technique. This is worth learning every morning. You make it your first priority before you do anything. Well, you might have to do something right away. But then, wash your face, this and that, sit up. Watch your breath through the nose, right up into the forehead. You gently look up in the forehead, and you think the highest thought. Now, don't get hung up about what the highest thought is. That's more mind. The mind is so tricky, it's impossible. It's impossible. And we try with all the spirituality and the thing and this and going to church and that and that and that. And you can't make a flower open before it's time. And the flower's going to open and have certain colors and certain designs. It's going to be what it will. And it is going to last 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months exactly as it's intended to. And it's the same with us. We're unfolding and life will teach us, you know. If you like meditating and it gives you peace, good. But don't think if you spend so many hours, it's going to do it. It's not like that. If so many hours are needed, so many hours will happen if it's actually required. But here's a little trick you can use to settle your mind and be able to point yourself in a higher direction. Increase faith, decrease fear. That's good. That's all we need to know. That's enough. So we breathe through the nose, right up into the forehead, and we think the highest thought. Breathe out, watch the breath all the way out, and then wait. Blow out all your breath. Blow it out. Don't worry, you won't die. Maybe a couple of you will somehow, but, you know, most of us will be all right. Let all the breath out, and then when you really have to breathe, don't be popping veins and stuff, but when you really have to breathe, you breathe in through the nose, right up into the forehead. And you might have to grab that, but at that point where you feel like you really have to breathe, it might be like, that's all right, pull it up. That's pulling that energy up, and you watch it from the very beginning. It starts way down below, and you watch it up, through the heart, through the throat, right up into the forehead there. And you're gently looking up in the forehead, and you think the highest thought. Then you wait. You're full of air, and you're full of energy, good energy, spiritual energy, Christ energy, and you wait. You're not going to want to breathe out if it happened like it does, and it will sooner or later for you. We grab that energy and pull it up. Watch. Then you breathe out. When you really have to breathe out, don't overdo. I definitely have to breathe out now. You watch it all the way out. Then you wait. Leave the breath out. Wait. Then you grab it. Up into the forehead. All the way up. Looking up in the forehead, thinking the highest thought. So that's a more advanced form of what I've been showing all along. So you breathe in through your nose, up into the forehead, gently looking up in the forehead, thinking the highest thought. Watching the breath all the way up into the forehead, looking up in the forehead, thinking the highest thought. When we get the mind out of the way, all of the garbage and baggage that the mind carries with it has nowhere to be. Crystallized thought structures, repetitive thought structures, grudges, regrets, guilt comes through the mind, stored in the body. We watch the mind. We watch the thoughts. We watch the breath up into the forehead. Thoughts come, just observe them. Don't do anything with them. That creates detachment. Detachment keeps you from reacting. Something happens, you see it. It is what it is. You don't have to react. You're not going to change what happened. Might as well remain you. Do you remember the songs you used to sing when you were a gypsy king or queen? When you knew that you could fly, but they would not let you try. Oh, you child, beautiful child. Remember when, love yourself again. Remember when, live your dreams again. And when you do, remember you. You're walking on water, spinning in space, turning the planets, painting your face with sunlight, and later with moonlight. With starlight, you painted with winter and summertime, world after world, time after time. How long does it take to remember? How long does it take to remember you? Remember you, world after world, time after time. Remember you.
KSCO, Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The voting has just ended in France. Early exit polls say 39-year-old centrist Emmanuel Macron has 60% of the vote, which would put him well ahead of right-wing populist Marine Le Pen. CBS's Elaine Cobb has more from Paris.
There are exit polls being put out in the Belgian media that suggest Macron has indeed won, but at the moment it's too soon to say. Macron, of course, hoping that there won't be too high an abstention rate, and that would be good for him.
Official results are expected shortly. Team Macron doing sound checks at the Louvre Museum right now in preparation for what could be his victory speech. House Speaker Paul Ryan doing PR for the Republican health care bill in this country.
We're proud of this. We're proud of this effort. It's us keeping our promises, and it's much better policy than what we're seeing with Obamacare.
Ryan, the Sunday after passage in the House, but Republican Susan Collins of Maine, also on ABC, says the bill won't even be considered by her colleagues.
The Senate is starting from scratch. We're going to draft our own bill, and I'm convinced that we're going to take the time to do it right.
Collins says she does favor a bipartisan panel to craft the bill instead of the group of 13 men working on it now. Police in Chicago say they've gotten a hold of one suspect, a gang member, in the shootings of two plainclothes officers last week.
Last night, we arrested and charged the suspected driver of the vehicle that followed, targeted, and used a weapon of war to open fire on the van our officers were driving.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says they are looking for other suspects. Right now, he says the two officers are recovering and eager to get back to work.
I know right now, despite this unspeakable event, those two young men, all they want to do is come back and continue to serve their communities and the city of Chicago.
Chicago police investigating the cause of a deadly collision between a car and a transit bus this morning.
We got on the scene and found a mangled wreck with people pinned inside.
Spokesman for the Chicago Fire Department, Larry Langford, says it happened around 6:15. Langford says all four victims had to be extricated from the vehicle. One died at the scene. 3 others were hospitalized and later pronounced dead.
WBBM reporter Andy Dane. Evacuations in Charlton County, Georgia, ahead of a growing wildfire.
This is by far the worst we've seen on this fire.
Crews have been battling the fire with resources on the ground and in the air since April 6th, when a lightning strike sparked the flames. Fire officials say more than 138,000 acres have burned, 150 structures are threatened, and the weather is only making it worse.
It's going to take some wind dying down. It's going to take some moisture moving in.
Neighbors forced to evacuate are praying for relief and worrying what they'll find when they return.
I just hope we have our place left, when we get back.
WJAX's Beth Russo. This is CBS News.
After all the sleep you cost your mom through the years, it's time to give it all back. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift she deserves, great sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. Our sheets are handcrafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer over time. We guarantee she'll love them. She can try them risk-free for 30 nights. Now through Mother's Day, get $50 off your first set plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP. That's bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Get out your baggy chinos, loosen up the tie. One of Woody Allen's favorite leading ladies is getting a big award.
She will receive the American Film Institute's highest honor next month.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la.
Yep, Diane Keaton will accept the 45th Life Achievement Award during a gala tribute in Los Angeles, June 8th. 71-year-old Keaton won an Academy Award for playing the title character in Annie Hall and has 3 other lead Oscar nominations.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la.
Jim Taylor, CBS News.
China today, Jared Kushner's sister back trying to woo investors with their federal visa program that can get you a green card and permanent residency if you finance a project that creates a lot of jobs. Nicole Meyer, sister of the president's son-in-law and advisor in Shanghai, promoting a family development project. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Good morning. You're listening to KSCO Santa Cruz, 11:04, a beautiful Sunday morning. May 7th, 2017. I'm Jason Struby here with your weather and traffic. We'll start on Highway 1. Looks like northbound to Santa Cruz. Everything at the limit right now. Southbound speeds also looking good all the way down to Carmel. Highway 101, 17 also both getting along nicely. A little slow down there northbound as you pass Highway 25. None but a top of the brakes. Otherwise, your roadways in the clear right now. Did have a collision earlier this morning. Carlton Road at Peckham. Minor injuries over there. Looks like they got that cleaned up a short time ago. Otherwise, a traffic hazard reported a few minutes ago coming out of Boulder Creek. Looks like a rolling road work there on Highway 9. Throughout Boulder Creek from CHP at 10:15. Your weather today, beautiful sunny skies. We'll have a high near 70 here in Santa Cruz. Cloudy overnight, a low near 50. Tomorrow sunny like today, a high near 69. Just like that, all throughout the week, sunny with moderate to warm temperatures during the day and not too chilly at night. Lows in the 50s. It's 11:06 at KSCO. Time for hour 2 of Spirit of America Rising with your host, Humble Brian the Great, KSCO Santa Cruz.
Yeah, so I'm listening here. So the introduction was pretty nice, Jason, but I think maybe it should be a little more like Humble Brian the Great. You know, something like that, like Humble Brian. Get kind of soft and intimate with that, and then say the Great. Something like. You want to try it a few times? Should we go over it? Oh, he left the room. Well. You know, when you babble and blabber. I wonder if Amy's out there. Is my little friend Amy out there who hates the show? Did I get you listening, Amy? You call in. You can call in and insult me. How about that? I could use an insult. You can call up and say something terrible about me on the air. Maybe it'll make your day. You out there listening, Amy? Secretly? She seemed okay. So I'm thinking maybe there's some people who want to say it. But, you know, folks, some of you might think like he's being a little unreasonable about that car to feel that way. But you don't understand. You don't understand. I didn't tell you everything about what has become the car from hell. A friend of mine said he wanted to buy it. He has a couple teenage boys. And they can knock around at this and that, so he offered me some money. So it went to his place. It was sitting there. and we were going to exchange the ownership, and he was going to give me some money. I think about $700, which I thought I was giving him a good deal. And the car sat there, and he was waiting for some extra money to come in. We were going to do it then. Next thing he calls me, call up and report the car stolen. Call the police and report the car stolen. What? Your car's stolen. Now, it doesn't matter to me that much if the car's stolen, except that, see, one of his sons took it to go tripping around, or run away, whatever. So there I am with some kid who doesn't care about anything, who has no respect for anything, driving around in my car. And if he hits someone or something happens, it could be on me. So this little punk has my whole life in his hands. So the car, then he says, oh, the car's back. He's back. All is well. No consequence. But then there was something else happened kind of on the violent side. So the kid wound up going to jail for a while. Because I said no consequences, no discipline. They turn into criminals. But he insisted that the kid stay in jail for 30 days, and it happened. And will it make a difference? Maybe on that one. But there's another one. It might be a hopeless case. And he did some damage to something else that belonged to me. And he took the car. So then the car's missing again. Call the... the police were mad at me the first time. You don't mess around reporting a car stolen. Then the car's back. And it's like, oh, they were working on it. They were test driving it, So I wind up looking like goofy. Then the car's missing again. Call the police. Report us again. So now I have tickets. I have parking tickets from the car, 2 parking tickets, and a bridge toll violation. Because the little punk blew through the bridge toll. They got a picture of the license plate, the front of the car, but not him driving, unless they have another one. So that's on my name. So these rats, these slimy kind of rats, they turn you into them. Marks against your name, this or that. And then I thought about it. I'd like to break the kid's legs. I'd like to just catch him and break his legs. But then I thought, oh, that's perfect. Then they turn you into a total criminal. The police come, they arrest you for hitting this poor innocent kid, and you go to jail, and the kid has the biggest laugh and the most satisfaction. And when he goes back to prison, which is almost inevitable, he'll have a story to tell and laugh about, fall in with all the rest of the low-life losers. So I said no. And in the Bible it says, let vengeance be mine. And that's why. So if he needs a good spanking or a butt kicking, he'll get it. It's not my job to do it. My job is to remember God and try to do good, So I get the car. Finally, I realize I have to get the car away from there because the liability is not being switched. And you got these goofball punks who have no respect for anything. And sure as anything, they're going to take the car again. And the next time, they might kill someone or hit someone or hurt someone. And it's still on me. So I got the car out of there. I desperately ran it to a friend's place that was near there and put it up there. And he said, oh, no, this has got to be gone. So he was put upon, and my image there is just a little, no, I'm not too sure about this guy now running around with this old beat-up car, like a dog with a bone. Put it here, put it there, It's Dave Allen's line, a dog with a bone. Yeah, I miss him sometimes. Dave Allen was a great talent and really a terrific guy. Anyway, so I get the car away from there, and I drive it here to the station. I have an ad running. I get like a whole flurry of calls interested, Some of them were dealers, some of them were scammers. Some of them didn't quite have the money. And then when I said, all right, I'll do it less, then, nothing would work. Nothing would work. Then a guy comes. He's going to buy it. Whole thing happens at the DMV. The worst lady there. And here's the car still sitting on the lot. They don't like it here at the station. Sitting there with a for sale sign on it. And then I realized it hit me. There's a reason. I believe. I say you look for the perfect plan. There's a reason why this car isn't selling. I'm being protected. Something terrible is going to happen with this car because it's got tricky, questionable things about it, Sometimes it catches when you're going real slow and you put on, it kind of almost locks. It doesn't skid, but it kind of something happens. And I'm just feeling like I don't want to go to the DMV again, and I want to be rid of this car clean. It's been so much trouble, and something really terrible happened earlier on with it. Terrible, terrible thing, you know. And I didn't get in trouble, but it was an awful thing, and it could have been terrible trouble, and someone did get badly hurt. So I realize this car has to be gone. I'd like to have the fruit. I'd like to have $500 or $300. That's the fruit. My hand's in the vase. And this car has got me trapped. And this car is going to finish me if I don't get rid of it clean. So that's what I'm doing. That's more of the story on the car. Not to mention the hacked up steering wheel. The interior of the car was very nice, very decent for an old car. Really decent. And they hacked up the steering wheel, great big chunks out of the steering wheel. And they hacked up the gear shift knob. These punks, these sicky, good-for-nothing little rats that have no respect for anything. They need to get their butts kicked. I hope they run into someone that just slaps them down for about 10 minutes. I hope someone kicks their butt and makes them understand how serious life can be. That's what they need. They need a real royal ass whooping that they realize they are not so clever. Disgusting punks. Just trying hard. You know them. You see them. These kind. They're all over. It's the fad. Try to be bad. Look bad. Talk bad. Look for trouble. Get in trouble. Break into a place. Oh, I broke into a place. Because you're afraid. That's why young people break into places and do bad things, because they're full of fear. And they should be, with all these bad hombres walking around with tattoos all over them and looking at them with hatred and trouble, you know. And they're a disgrace to their own people, who are decent, good, wonderful family people who love God and everything. But you got these bad ones here that have got to be scooped up. They're being scooped up left and right, is my understanding. I sure hope that's true. They're finding them left and right, all the ones with a record, all the violent ones, and they're picking them up. Why did the border numbers go down so fast? Just announcing that there's no more catch and release. Oh, you do anything, come to America, come. It's wonderful, we do anything. I beat up a woman and raped her, and they let me go because I'm illegal. Oh, you can break the law all you want, and they won't do anything because you're illegal. They're stupid here. Come, man, come. We'll have so much fun. Scoop these kind up and get them out of here. And let them stop embarrassing the good Mexican people who are here. Get these punks, these gangs, these troublemakers, these wise guys, scoop them up, get them out of the country so that the decent Mexican people can hold their heads high. Because we know they're good, and we love them. We love them. We know them, and their children are beautiful. Good family people. So I hope that will happen. So yeah, the car is going away tomorrow to a junkyard somehow. I'll find out the best way, and it's going to get done. Goodbye. And it's embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing. And there are people here at the station that aren't in love with me. Let me put it that way. They're not in love with me. A few. And why should they have something to say and insinuate and remarks to make to feed the fire? You know, I'm getting rid of the car. And then we'll see. Some big changes are coming to KSCO, folks. I believe I've seen that some very, very big change is coming to KSCO. And it's just destiny. There's nothing can be done about it. So, if someone wants to call and say a few words or tell me something, this might be the last chance you ever have to talk to me. I always feel like every show's my last. And the way the winds of change are blowing, it could be. By my decision. Michael Zwerling's an honorable guy. And he treats me very well. Very, very, very well. He's very, very kind to me. And good to me. But, you know, it's a situation here I'm beginning to feel increasingly unwelcome. So I might choose to go, or you might hear me again next week just happy as a chirpy little bird. We'll see how things go. But right now, I do not feel like I should be around here anymore, but we'll see. So, all right, so we're getting close. Should we go to the break early, Jason? Does it matter? We go to the break early, and then we come back and do some... Well, what do we got till the break? What do we got, 2 full minutes? Not enough, not enough. Somebody's calling. Let's take a fast phone call. Who is it? Who dares to call the humble one? Who is it? Who dares call the humble one? What we got?
I don't know. Pot him up.
I can't tell. I hope it's not Amy. That's a heck of a way to go on a break. Anything happening here, Jason?
It's all you.
Oh, no. That's not my call. No call.
Okay.
All right, so all I've done is meander around and waste 2 minutes of valuable airtime. Isn't there something good I can say, something helpful, something worthwhile I can say? Now, no, look at just talking like a dummy here. Who the hell is listening? You should change the channel. This guy's sitting here meandering around. Change the channel to 1080 AM. That's the best move you can make. All right, Tamon. It is break time.
Is your internet connection slow? Do you experience outages or dread calling customer support? How about your latency? Etheric Networks can help you. Etheric Networks is the Bay Area's locally owned alternative to DSL satellite and cable. Etheric provides fast, reliable, symmetric internet via our wholly owned network of towers covering the Bay Area from Salinas to Santa Cruz to Sausalito. We install a 2-foot dish on your building and point it to one of our towers to connect you directly to the major data centers of Silicon Valley. Etheric directly connects to Tier 1 companies like Google, Facebook, and Amazon to ensure high-quality service from your building to the world. KSCO Business Special. Business service up to 10 megabits per second symmetric for as little as $299 a month with a $399 installation fee. Etheric also offers high-end 100 megabit and even gigabit and 10 gigabit service starting at $599 a month with installation starting from $500. Etheric Networks. Call 650-399-4200. Etheric.net. That's ETHERIC.net.
Well, folks, the sun sets mighty early these days. That means we're all spending a lot more time indoors, watching TV, surfing the net, working out in the shop, in general, using up a lot of electricity. So let's ask
Listen.
Those are actual sounds of electrical wires shorting out behind the walls of Central Coast homes. Though you can't hear arcing behind your walls, JM Electric Current Safe Home Inspection Equipment can hear them for you. To know if you should call JM Electric for a free electrical safety assessment, answer this question from JM Electric's Chris Jensen.
Have you upgraded your electrical system lately? If no, your home may not be able to adequately handle all your new TVs, computers, microwaves, and electronic gadgets, which may overload your overworked electrical system and put you at risk for an electrical fire.
If you answered no to Chris Jensen's question, something may be buzzing in your walls. To discover how at risk your home might be, take JM Electric's home electrical safety test at jmelectric.com. In a few short minutes, you'll know how at risk your home is to electrical problems. Take the test right now at jmelectric.com or give JM Electric a call at 422-7819 and ask for the free, no obligation home electrical safety assessment. That's 422-7819.
That was my bad. That wasn't Jason. That was me touching this magnificent mic setup here. And it went... Well thought out by very, very accomplished people. Okay, so is this a call I can take here, Jason? There's something here. Well, let's see who it is. Wait a minute. Is someone here?
Yes, I'm calling myself Safe Feedback today. Because I've been loving your show more and more, and today it's the best meditative show on a Sunday morning I've ever heard.
Oh, that's good. Tony, is this the Tony with the longevity commercial jingle?
Yeah, also known as Saint Feedback, yes.
Well, then...
this morning...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This morning when you were going through the series on Love Is, you got my motor running, and after you quit, my motor was still running, and I said, Love is the absence of
Go ahead.
absence. You missed it. Love is the absence of absence. Think about that. But another thing I wanted to say was, pharmacist Ben is talking about connective tissue, or talked about it for a full month. And surprisingly, no medical doctor seems to know anything about connective tissue. But what you have, my friend, is the connective tissue for the mind. And what it does is it wraps around all your organs and holds it all together, holds your shit together, so to speak.
Whoa. That's store high in transit is what that is. Store high in transit.
Okay.
You can't say that.
Anyway,
I'm
sorry. I didn't know that. I thought that was a...
I don't think you can say that. Should I have hit the button, Jason?
Oh, well. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll have to apologize. Powers that be, so I don't...
Well, there's only one way to redeem yourself. Thanks for the nice words. You have to sing the longevity jingle, not too close to the phone, before you go. Go ahead. It's true, folks.
How are you receiving me right now? Okay.
Fine.
You take 90 for life, and what do you get?
Back off.
Healthy, wealthy, wise, with no side effect. Let food be thy medicine. Hippocrates said, longevity will guarantee you'll be well fed.
All right, Tony. Thank you. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Catch you down the road.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that was a nice call. Okay.
That man has a good voice.
Yeah, he's in his 80s, isn't he?
I don't know.
He's in his 80s. I don't want to wrestle him. People call me up. They call me up to ask questions about longevity from all over the country. And it's amazing. Talk to wonderful people. And when they call back and tell me they can see again, they can stand again, their legs stopped hurting, it's wonderful. Not that many call back, but I get amazing, wonderful feedback. And that's really good. The whole country needs a meditation, and the whole country needs longevity. We need to become strong and centered fast, because the plan is to hurt us. The plan is to bring circumstances to the point where we just create. You see, they're trying to create chaos. They're trying to create racial strife. It's obvious how hard President Jihad worked at trying to create racial strife. They brought it up, and they told it. Next thing you know, there's Black Lives Matter. They're being held up. Al Sharpton, he winds up with an important post in the White House. That's like they made Saudi Arabia there in charge of the women's rights at the UN. Help me, somebody. This has to be a dream. This has to be an Alice in Wonderland dream. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And everybody thinks President Jihad was just wonderful and so good. Tried to import an army of young, strong, fighting age men from countries that chant death to America. That's why I call him President Jihad, because Jihad, first step, you increase numbers. That's what's happened in a lot of the countries, like Sweden. One of those countries is already gone. They don't even know what to do. They're overrun, and they're still pouring in. And they're very progressive and liberal leaders. We have to care. We have to care. Pull those other 20 people into the lifeboat because we care. And there's women and children who started out on that lifeboat, who paid for that lifeboat. Whose sons and brothers and fathers died defending that lifeboat. And they bring them in. We're so good, all the way down as the lifeboat capsizes. And everyone's drowning. And the sharks are closing in for the kill. And they'll be yelling, Trump! It was Trump's fault. It was so-and-so. George Bush. They don't see how ridiculous they are, how unrealistic they are. Because they live in a dream world. Everything's good. You be good and everything will be good back to you. So go stroke a rattlesnake. Be really sweet to the rattlesnake. Give him a little mouse first to eat. You know, and be real nice and then pet him gently on the head. And he'll understand. He'll understand. You know, you see a little scorpion. There's scorpions. There's black widow spiders around, you know. He's calling Muslims? No. I'm calling a rapist a rapist. I'm calling a murderer a murderer. I'm calling a hater a hater. I'm calling a bomb maker, a suicide bomb maker. I'm calling people who want to torture and kill innocent women and children. I'm talking about them. I don't care what race they are. I don't care if they're Israeli. I don't care what they are. These kind have to be weeded out of our world. There was a time when there were huge, dangerous beasts roaming the earth. And the human race got rid of them. It's in ancient writings. And they hunted them down and they got rid of them. And that's what has to be done to the rapists, the murderers, the muggers, the haters who are hurting other people, who live only to do evil and hurt other people. They have to be hunted down and removed from society one way or another. And I hope it's true that they're going at breakneck speed and finding every one of these guys as fast as they can. Now, one guy called to buy the car from hell. And he said, I'm taking it to perfect, he said. You know, I was desperate. I said, I'll pay it because it's a couple $100 fees because they don't keep the records. They let it go out of the computer after a certain time. I shouldn't owe any fees, $200. I said, I'll pay the couple $100 fees because I want to sell the car. He says, what would I pay then? I said, $300. He says, great, I can do it right now. I said, the DMV's not open today. He said, oh, no title or something like that. I said, no, I can't find a title. I think they stole the title out of the glove compartment, or it's somewhere where I can't get to right now. So it wound up, he wanted to drive the car off, supposedly to Mexico, with no liability. So there's those scams going on. So it's going away, and I will feel so much better and so relieved when that's done. And then possibly today someone's going to buy the trailer. Then what? Then what? Then I will probably go somewhere far away where I have a house where I'm allowed to be, where no one asks me every single day, when are you leaving? When are you leaving? When are you leaving, Brian? Every single day. So I have to go far away where I have a nice house to live in, where I can have peace. And that's probably what's going to happen. Nobody owes me anything. And in truth, I don't owe anybody else anything. We all make our moves. So, anybody want to call up and turn this into an interesting show? Because I'm getting bored. Anybody want to call up? Read something beautiful? Say something beautiful? We probably lost the whole audience by now, Jason. Probably lost the whole audience. Sitting here meandering and blabbering. Huh? It's been good. I said some good things. So what other subjects could we cover? The boys and the girls. So I think Trump did an order that killed the bathroom thing so that a percentage of 1% of our population will feel a little more comfortable, while the little girl who had a big ugly penis suddenly in her face in the restroom can go on with her life without that. Sickies on parade. Everywhere you turn. Make them, don't worry about the little kids. Don't worry about the dangers. You tell me there's not going to be one incident? There's not going to be one really bad incident? But all that matters is that this percentage of 1% feels a little more comfortable about themselves. Well, that's their problem, to feel good about themselves. It's not society's problem to offer up, sensitive women and vulnerable little children, to offer it up on the altar of absurdity of rights. They've perverted everything. Everything is perverted. All goodness, all decent things, they've infiltrated into and turn it into their sick trip. Or their weird, strange trip. If someone wants to become a woman or a man, it's their business. And I'm not qualified to say there's something wrong with it. It's not right. But it should not be shown to little children. It should not be in their face to confuse little children in a restroom who think it's a woman there, but it turns out to be really a man, or they think a man, or vice versa, whatever. You know, it's weird, okay? You want to be weird? This is America. Be weird. But don't try to put it in our children's faces. That makes us hate you. That makes us think badly about you. Stay the hell away from our children. And this child pornography thing, they say it's the next barrier to be broken down. I'll say this on the air, and I don't care what anyone thinks. If you know anyone who is producing child pornography, filming, producing, copying, kill them. Find a way to kill them. And this is my little effort to oppose this making it all right. All right? My statement is, if you're producing child pornography, you should die. And it is every man's duty, every decent American man's duty, to make sure it happens, that they go to jail forever or they die. That's how I feel about it. I don't care what anyone thinks or anything. If that's hate speech, how about this? Go to hell. If you want to see it, be okay. And you think it's coming about. It's progressive. It's progress. No, I'll tell you what progress is. When every one of you sick kind of bastards is removed from the world. That's progress. When you're put in jail or killed for producing that. And if you have it on you, you should go to jail. You should lose everything you have if you're indulging in that, if you're sharing it. So you want to make child pornography normal? Well, that's what I have to say about it. It should never be normal. It's not normal. It's abnormal. It's sick. It's evil. And people doing it should suffer. Now, where was I? This is Flink in Felton. Let me see here.
Hello?
Flink, was I being a bit harsh?
You got to stand up. What I believe, you got to stand up for what you believe. Like you were talking about the parking space last week, or a couple weeks ago about the parking space. If someone's taking that parking space every week and that's your parking space, you're not really parked there. That's their space now. And I believe that, like, you leaving the show, if you leave the show, that's going to be someone else's parking space if you leave the show. But if you're leaving because you don't feel like you have anything more to say, that's great. You know, leave. But if you're leaving because you feel intimidated or something hateful going on at the radio station, you shouldn't leave. You should stand up for your right to be there.
Well, yeah, that's a valid principle, but you know, my steps are ordered. It's the truth. If I'm meant to continue with this show, it will continue, and nobody will be able to stop it. Nobody, if it's meant to be. If it has that kind of power and it's needed in the world, you know. But there's so much in this town. There is so much in this town where you can get spirituality and spiritual knowledge that maybe it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. There are a lot of there's a lot of factors coming together. A lot of factors, you know, and I just have to see it. It will happen. It will be like, just like I couldn't sell the car. That's how my life is all the time. You know, it would have been bad if that guy would have given me $500 for that car. It would have been bad for me because he would have been making a big mistake, and I would have been part of it. So I let go. I'm letting go of the fruit in the vase, and I'm going to be free. I'm going to end this trap. See, so I'm a smart monkey.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say to the folks listening?
No, I think us out here in Radio Land like having you around. Hope you come around, and if you leave, maybe you come back sometime in the future somewhere else.
Yeah, well, if I leave, I will leave decently. I promised MZ I would leave like a gentleman and not do anything radical or, leave dead air or, you know what I mean. He deserves respect. He's been very good to me, very, very good to me. So we'll see what happens. Either way is okay for me. I don't need to do it. I felt like the world needed. I felt like a selfless service, to put more goodness out, into the mix. There's so much crap going on now, so much garbage that I thought put something good out. You know what I mean? Put some positivity into it. And there's people that hate me for it. There's people that resent me for it, And there's people that just don't like my politics. And there's people that don't like my humble, genuine, wonderful personality. Could you imagine that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for calling. Really, I appreciate it. It was nice to talk with you. Bye-bye. Now, who do we have here? Twin Bridges. What's your name? Nini?
Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah. I see. All right, Johnny. So what's on your mind?
Well, I think it's kind of interesting that one group in our society, they're trying to do everything they can to have marijuana sold and made legal and everything else.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're taxing cigarettes.
Well, that's the end game. They're going to want to tax that. You're talking big money there, big revenue. So they'll work it around. He says maybe they'll leave it to the states or this or that, and the states will tax the heck out of it. You'll be able to buy it. It'll be controlled, not to minors, but all the kids will have it. And it'll be what it'll be. Everyone walking around in a stupor, maybe. It has its benefits, and some people, it helps them calm down. It helps them whatever. There's a lot of positive things to it. It's not the, you get high, you feel high, but it's not the ultimate. But if it gives you peace and, helps you to focus your energy and your mind, this and that, well, I don't know. I'm not qualified to. If it was up to me, I wouldn't know what to say, to tell you the truth. But the other drugs should be serious. Dealing heroin should be life sentence. Bang, life sentence, mandatory. You deal heroin. They got to stop this stuff.
Yeah, I had a position where I was involved with lie detector tests and for people that needed security clearances.
Yeah.
And before the test, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours of a pre-test interview. And one of the things that you cover on the interview is their usage of illegal drugs and that kind of thing, or alcohol.
Uh-huh.
And I did over 4,600 interviews. I had offices. I had offices in Oakland and in San Jose and other places. And it's a lot of people have used marijuana since they were 18, and now they're in their 50s.
They're still using it?
Every day.
Well, yeah, it serves them somehow, or they're just addicted. Now, do you remember the test? Do you remember the lie detector when the particular test when the machine went crazy and sparks flew and it kind of blew up? That was me.
You had a test and you blew the machine up?
No, I'm joking. I might though.
I would suspect that you would be a very difficult examinee. You'd be very difficult to test.
Well, something always gives them away, Maybe like when I scratch my crotch or something, it'll give you a clue.
No, because you have a very strong personality.
Yeah.
And I can tell you've done a lot of thinking. So, you would none of this would be very new to you. You'd be pretty.
Well, I've done a lot of looking too. I've done a lot of realizing, and that's wonderful. Yeah, folks, if your thoughts are bugging you, folks, you watch your thoughts. You sit and you watch your breath like we do, and you just pay attention to your thoughts. You just let them come and go. You just watch them. You don't get involved. You let them come and go. And when you can get detachment from your thoughts, it's a wonderful thing. Well, thanks for calling. I'm starting to feel better there, Frank.
I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave because it's not just that the normal society needs you, but you do feel you have a definite purpose. You definitely do. And there's a lot of people that need to have more exposure to people like you rather than Michael Moore or some of these other people.
Well, you got a point there. I was hoping it would spread elsewhere, but nobody seems to get it. I have dreams about levitating and flying with crowds of people. No one sees me. I'm doing amazing things flying. No one sees. No one really notices what it is,
You know the young singer Miley Cyrus?
Oh, yeah, the Miss Tongue.
There's some things on the internet now. She's made some statements that are contrary to modern rap music because they had some lyrics in there that were hostile towards women in her view.
Well,
it concerned her enough that she made statements. She said, well, now that I'm older, I realize that these lyrics and things have more effect on people than I thought they did.
Well, that's it. There. She got a plus in my book now. Now she's got a plus line, maybe a plus and a half. Thanks so much, John. It was great to talk to you. Folks, we'll be back in a few minutes, and I have something astounding to tell you. Don't go away because you don't want to miss when we come back. Yeah, I'm going to tell him, Jason. No, I'm going to tell him.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. In the world of sports performance, you're not going to find a more popular and important anabolic strength-boosting supplement than glutamine, therapeutic nutrient that does a lot more than build muscle. Glutamine's reputation as a go-to building nutrient is well-deserved, and it's been used as such by bodybuilders and weightlifters for decades. It can also help athletes after prolonged strenuous exercise by preventing the breakdown of muscle and reducing inflammation. You don't have to be a gym rat to enjoy its anabolic bodybuilding benefits. Breastfeeding infants depend on it as a growth-inducing element, and up to half of the amino acids in mother's milk are glutamine. And if you're hooked on sweets, glutamine can help with sugar addiction. Under certain conditions, brain cells can convert the amino acid into glucose, and this may make it useful for beating cravings. Glutamine is found in high-protein foods. Whey protein is an especially good source, so are organ meats and seafood, as well as eggs and dairy. If you're a vegetarian, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get dietary glutamine. You'll find some in beans, soy, and other lentils, as well as beets, cabbage, and collard greens. As a nutritional supplement, glutamine is readily available as tablets or capsules. 0.5 gram to 2 grams a day is a good starting dose. If you're in the gym a lot or in recovery from surgery, or if you're ill, you may need higher doses. Use it once or twice a day, adding 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoonful of the straight powder. It's tasteless. To a protein smoothie or a glass of water. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
Boy, that guy can sing. I wonder if he's humble. We got here. Is this Fran? Freedom Fighter, Fran. Freedom Fighter. What's on your mind, Fran?
You're on my mind. I want you to stop being so hard on yourself. At your very worst, you're superlative, head and shoulders above every broadcaster I've heard. And it isn't personal, it's just true. As to those bozos who would either demean you or exalt pedophilia, etc., remember we're living in the age in which people call good evil and evil good. And they need to be dealt with, and God will deal with them. What you speak is truth and love, and you know as well as I do that Jesus is truth. And when anyone tries to speak truth of any kind, people come against them, including our president, who still needs our prayers.
Yeah.
He has no mean task.
He did
As
do
to
some
you,
good things. He stopped the catch and release. That is so big. That's why the numbers went down right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good.
There's a lot that he's done, but he needs support.
Yeah.
Too many Judas goats, even those of his own house, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, your steps are ordered by the Lord. Just stay close to him. Just do what you're doing, and know that you do stand for truth.
Thank you, Fran. May God bless
thank you. You're doing the work.
Catch you down the road. So are you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
see you later, alligator.
Oh, we got Art here in Prunedale. Art, hi.
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
I look forward to listening to your show every Sunday. And I think you're one of the best, most enlightened, spiritual gentlemen on the radio. And Fran, who was just on, boy, she couldn't have wrapped up your situation any better, my friend. I love you. You're great. Don't get pushed around. Freedom isn't free. A lot of people have put up with a lot of disquietude to defend this country and what it stands for. And you, my friend, are under the gun, maybe, by some very negative people who want to destroy you, get you off the air, and don't let them get away with it.
Well, thanks for that. Appreciate it, Art. So what do you do? What kind of work you do?
I'm retired. I used to be a sales representative for a golf company.
Yeah, we all eke out our little living one way or another. You know, I'm doing the longevity work. By the way, you're a well-spoken guy. If you want some extra money, you help people. See, people, they think you have to, oh, I'm not good at selling. No, if you do the longevity thing, folks, you never sell. Like I told Dr. Wallach, you know, when he said, what's your secret? How do you get so many orders? I said, well, I tell him everything's free after the first order, and we laughed, you know. But then I said, my secret is I don't sell your products. The idea is you honestly try to help people. You know, you listen close, you hear what they're saying, and you get to know the products. You know, you get feedback. You know that this and that is working. You make combinations. And it's all obvious. It's all there for you. There's a bone and joint pack, but blood sugar pack. And people, he's getting people well all over the place. So if you want to get involved, or anyone, let me know. You can come in, $27. You're a distributor. The company ships out the product. You don't need a room full of product. It's almost the best thing since mother's milk. Of course, I don't exactly remember that, but... Yeah, so anyway, yeah, all right, let me know if you want to do anything, anybody. And now I'm going to talk more about longevity. Anything else you want to say, Art?
I just want to say, if you leave the station, are you going to walk away from longevity too?
No, I would keep doing that. I would keep doing that because it's a living, and I'm helping people. Right livelihood, you know, that's a good thing. And selfless service. Sometimes I'll tell people, get some apple cider vinegar. You like get some cayenne pepper. We don't sell it. But I help them, you know what I mean? And it's really good. Get calls back. It's a wonderful work. And Dr. Wallach, I just love him. I'm sorry, I love him. He is a national treasure. And, you know, we don't know how much longer we'll have him. He works very hard. He's doing a lecture or a TV or a radio every day almost. He's somewhere giving a lecture, and every day he's doing radio. So he's working hard, and we're hoping he'll, you know, last a while because he is a national treasure in my opinion. Well, Art, I'm glad you're listening, and God willing, I'll stay on. It's completely out of my control. It really is. If I tried to leave the show, I wouldn't be able to if I'm meant to do it. It would be shown to me clearly, you know, so it's okay. But thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was a nice bunch of calls. Amy must actually have not listened to that. How could she speak to me? Maybe she didn't see me. If she would have seen me on the computer. So many women are crazy about me. I can tell. They walk by and act like they don't even see me. That's how I know. Many women are wild about me. Probably because they sense my great humility. All right. What should we do now, Jason? I don't know. I think that dog came and chased him out of the studio. So I'm here. Oh, there's our little microphone set up. It's so nice. It's really quite interesting if you move the mic. But a pro will do this. I just moved the mic and you didn't hear a thing. So it's on me, because if I want to move the mic, I should hit the button, turn off the mic, move it where I want, and turn it back on instead of acting like a little, you know, a little person. Little people are good too. We need the little people. Little people enhance littleness. I'm getting stupid. And I think when Jason returns, we'll go into Yasos so you can observe your thoughts. I wanted to tell you about that. Now, feelings will come. When you're watching the breath or you're looking up there and you start to actually make some progress, when you start to have realizations and ascend, it's different levels, round and round, over and over, where a wave of pain or something will come and you won't even know it because it's the thing you've been running from your whole life. It's that thing that makes you laugh when there's nothing funny. It's that thing that makes you make mistakes and drop things and forget things. It's that feeling, that awful, awful feeling that you're afraid to even feel. Before it even comes, you're off into something else. A drug, a phone call, some food. That's why people get fat. That's why people get addicted. Where does it come from? Where does it come from? Separate from your thoughts and your feelings. Watch your breath. Observe. Be still. Be still. The feeling comes. What is this? What is this? What is this? When did I feel this way before? Last week at the on the escalator with that lady and the dog. Well, all right. And how did it feel then? Same thing. Like, damn dog. Yeah, all right. When else did you feel that way? You can trace it. You go back. All the time, whenever then next thing you know, you're realizing something happened, and that's where you got stuck. That's where you stopped being real. That's when you stop being real. I spotted one of the times when I first stopped being real. I was a little kid. They sent me to the grocery store on the corner to get a bread. The man went in the back to slice it, or he wasn't in yet. Mr. Hoberman, corner store, some old Polish man or something. I don't know what it was. But there was this chocolate-covered marmalade there. And I love those, and I wanted it. So I took the chocolate marmalade, and I put it under my arm. And I bought the bread and said, thank you, like a nice little boy. And I went home, and when I got home and walked in and realized my parents might find out about it right there, I split. And I became someone else. And I went in. And in a sense, lied to my parents. I became different. Right there was one of the times I changed in my life. Another time when I was very young, my mother dropped me off at a preschool thing or something. And I started crying a little bit. My tears welled up. And they said, are you crying? The kid said. And I was embarrassed. I didn't want them to think I was crying. So I said, no, I have something in my eye. I split again. I lied. I became false. False. I spotted several times like that where you split and you become a phony, a false person. I've been a phony all my life. Phony dancer, pleasing everyone. Because I had to. I grew up terrified. Terrible, terrible things happened when I was a kid. I didn't get sexually abused, or I don't remember it, but very bad things happened. Very bad, cutting, painful. And so I always grew up being that way. Scared, pleasing people, eye twitches, facial twitches. Then I discovered yoga. I started out with relating exercises, enlightenment, and then things started to happen. I had amazing experiences. And little by little, I've overcome that. I'm my own man now. I'm pretty strong. So who's here? Who dares to call the humble one? This is Frank in Aptos. You again? Oh, it's a different Frank. It's a different Frank. Oh, excuse me. Welcome to the show, Frank. This is the humble one. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
I met you at Trader Joe's a couple of weeks ago, and you remember me at Trader Joe's? There?
Oh, you're the guy I told don't stuff that in your shirt. It's not right. Is that you? I stopped you from shoplifting? No? I'm joking. What happened? How did we meet? Tell me about it. I want to remember.
We were in line together there next to each other.
Oh, you're the big guy with the hair. How you like the show?
You're great. I just called to tell you that you're great. And I have Did you ever see a movie with Steve McQueen? It was called Enemy of the People, and about 40 years ago. And it was one of the last things he did before he died, before his death. And one of the last movies he made, and Enemy of the People, because if you ever seen that movie, you'll get.
I may have seen it, but it's from you telling me it's going to be worth re-seeing. You know, when I saw you, a young man. Oh no, it was in Trader Joe's. Oh, wait a minute, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Dave Allen, who the great host that he was, the great guy that he was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's nice to talk to people in lines, you know. People don't look at each other anymore. They don't talk to each other anymore. Everyone's cut off. It's not everyone. But, I mean, we've got to create communication. That's why I talk to people. I kid around. I ask them, what do you do? What's that shirt mean? You know, just to have contact. People are just so thirsty for contact with others, safe contact, and people are afraid of each other because there's so much craziness now. And that's because there's an element mixed into our society that does not know the American way of friendliness, helping, you know, being decent, being right, you know. Instead of walking around looking like a killer and all, trying to look. That's fear. They're afraid. That's why they walk around that way, to hoping no one will bother them. Anything else you want to say?
I love you. You're doing a great job, and I just hope you're around for many more years on KSCO and Santa Cruz and.
Thanks, Frank. All right, man. Thank you. I'll hang in. You guys are calling, and I feel like I have to hang in. So we'll take it from there. Thanks for calling, man. Thanks.
Okay. All right, Brian.
May God bless you. Be well. Bye-bye.
You too.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, I'll take all the help I can get. Oh, tomorrow's going to be a big day. Woo! So we're coming in. Let's have some yasos. Come on. People are saying, where's the spirituality? This guy's just ego tripping, and I'm not getting high. So let's have a minute. We got 1 minute, folks. Put your attention on your breath. Breathe through the nose. Think the highest thought. Breathe right up into the forehead. Think the highest thought. Blazing light up in your forehead. You've already done this. We've already there. Slip right in there. Watch the breath. Look up in the third eye. Look up in the forehead. Think the highest thought. Think the highest thought. Let that highest thought of peace and goodness and divinity go out across our nation, settle on every school, every workplace, every young person touched, stopping, feeling something different upon them in their brain, in their hearts, all across the nation. Healing, uplifting, protection upon our nation, upon every leader. May our president be guided. Let the highest powers take command of him, that he do right, that he make genius decisions for the good, that freedom prevail in this world. Praise you, God. Amen.
KSCO, Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It's the centrist over the populist in France. The vote is over and Marine Le Pen has conceded to Emmanuel Macron.
The French has chosen a new president of the Republic, and they voted for continuity.
Le Pen through an interpreter. CBS's Elaine Cobb on how Macron wound up with more than 65% of a good-sized vote.
Turnout appears to have picked up a little, 74%, and there was a lot of fear that could help Marine Le Pen. She's always had a small but solid base. They were always going to turn out for her. The question was how much Macron could persuade people, either traditional right or traditional left, who didn't like his centrist policies, that they should vote for him. But it looks like he has managed to sway fears.
Macron calls it the beginning of a new hopeful and confident chapter for France. He becomes the youngest president in the country's history. The House-passed Republican health care bill takes center stage on the Sunday news shows. President Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary, Dr. Tom Price, on NBC.
Our desire is to make certain that we have a system that works for patients, not for government, not for insurance companies, but for patients. That's the goal.
But West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin tells CBS's Face the Nation.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. We have a lot of pre-existing conditions. I have a lot of people that are elderly. My state gets absolutely slammed with this piece of legislation.
The Senate is working on its own version. Testimony begins in Congress this week on Russian interference in last year's presidential election and what role President Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn, may have played. California Senator Dianne Feinstein on NBC.
There are so many questions here as to who knew what when. What was done with this?
Feinstein, a Democrat, fired Acting Attorney General Sally Yates, is expected on Capitol Hill tomorrow. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke begins a 4-day trip to review federal lands.
Zinke will assess whether more than 3 million acres of national monuments in southern Utah should shrink or if the federal government should rescind the designations. One of the most controversial sites he's visiting, Bears Ears National Monument on sacred tribal lands. President Obama designated the area a national monument last year, despite objections from conservatives worried about federal overreach. The Interior Department is reviewing 27 national monuments established in the last 20 years as part of an executive order President Trump signed last month. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, the White House.
Part 2, more popular than Part 1.
Here you stand.
The Guardians of the Galaxy sequel easily wins the box office in its debut weekend with over $145 million in ticket sales, 50% more than the original. Fate of the Furious way behind in second, Boss Baby number 3. This is CBS News.
After all the sleep you cost your mom through the years, it's time to give it all back. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift she deserves, great sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. Our sheets are handcrafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer over time. We guarantee she'll love them. She can try them risk-free for 30 nights. Now through Mother's Day, get $50 off your first set plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP. That's bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
A man who refused to hang up his climbing gear falls victim to the world's highest mountain.
An 85-year-old Nepalese great-grandfather died trying to regain his title as the oldest person to climb Mount Everest. Min Bahadur Churchan died at the mountain's base camp. It's believed he suffered a heart attack. Churchan, a former Gurkha soldier, scaled Everest when he was 76, but he lost his title to an 80-year-old Japanese climber, and he was eager to get it back. Churchan trained for months before this attempt. He said he planned to travel to conflict areas, spreading a message of peace. Larry Miller, CBS News.
Former President Obama will be back in the spotlight tonight to accept the Profile and Courage Award at the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library in Boston. The prize will be handed out by JFK's grandson, 24-year-old Jack Schlossberg. The event is scheduled to begin with a performance by James Taylor. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
After all the sleep you cost your mom through the years, it's time to give it all back. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift she deserves, great sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. Our sheets are handcrafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer over time. We guarantee she'll love them. She can try them risk-free for 30 nights. Now through Mother's Day, get $50 off your first set plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP. That's bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Good afternoon. You're listening to KSCO Santa Cruz, 12:06. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, May 7th, 2017. I'm Jason Struby. Time for your weather and traffic. Highway 1 into Santa Cruz northbound. Speeds below the limit approaching Aptos. 5 miles an hour to 41st Avenue. Southbound looking good all the way from Santa Cruz through Moss Landing and beyond. All the way to Carmel. Looking good there. 68 101. Checking in. Clear 17. Just fine up over the summit and back. Did have a collision northbound Highway 25 at the Coalinga Road there. Mile marker 9.4 in the King City area just before noon. No injuries reported, thankfully. Nobody blocking the roadway. You'll be able to get around that. Sunny today, a high near 70 here on the coast. Cloudy tonight, a low near 50. Tomorrow sunny like today. A couple degrees cooler, a high near 69. It's 12:07 at KSCO. Time for the Flavors Radio Show with your host, Chef Greg. KSCO, Santa Cruz.
It's time now for Flavors on KSCO, a show about food and wine and all the great things that go along with those two things. If you'd like to participate, our telephone number is 831-479-1080. That's 479-1080. And now we'd like to welcome our two favorite celebrity chefs on Flavors, Greg and Marlene.
Hello, everybody. I'm Greg, and this is Flavors. Why? Because flavors everything. Marlene's under the weather today, and she had to go take care of an issue with my mother, so maybe by the end of the show I will be an orphan. We'll find out. But other than that, we got a pretty good show for you today. We're going to talk about Mother's Day, which is next week, which once again I might be an orphan after Marlene gets done with my mother. So that issue might settle for myself. Also, we've got Paul coming in from Imbibe. We've got the Smoothie Bowls, and then we've got our lovely ladies from Manners Simply to round out the show. So first off, I do want to tell you that Mother's Day is coming up, and everybody's got a mother, or you wouldn't be sitting on the planet or listening to the radio. Some are better than others, but they're still your mother. So unless she's treated you like something that you don't want to talk about on the air, then at least make an effort to call her. Don't text her, gang. A lot of the millennials out there, they believe that it's just as good as to text. It's not. Please give mom a call if you're out of the area, out of town. Now, if you're in the area, you're in town. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But if you're out of town, you can't come and see your mother or whatever, give her a call. You have no idea what that little bit of time out of your life is going to mean to her. So take my word for it on this one. Now, if your mother lives in the area and you're planning on doing a big thing, all sorts of traditions, taking her out to a brunch, taking her out to dinner. That's what we're going to do with my mother. And I've got a deal with the restaurant that I get to leave her, but we'll see how that works out. Throw a party, have a whole bunch of mothers. If it's a big family and you've got brothers and sisters and they've got kids and everybody else, I mean, you can make a big party, which will actually lower everyone's cost to do this. And you got grandma there via your mom that's going to look at you and go, oh my God, I got all my kids under one spot. Even if you guys really can't stand each other's guts, which I know Marlene and I we're only children. So we just, in some cases we understand, but for the most part, we don't understand how families aren't tighter the way they are. We would do anything to have a brother or sister to be arguing with. You got somebody, for goodness sakes. When you're an only child, when you're a kid, Toys R Us throws up in your living room every 25th of December because they have no one else to spend the money on you. But you don't have anyone to play with either. Brothers and sisters, having siblings, you count your blessings. Even if they're pain in the tuchuses, overall, you're blessed to have them. And if your mom's still with you, treat her right. Take her out to dinner. That's what we're going to do with my mother. If you have not made your dinner reservations yet, gang, for a nicer restaurant to go to, which you don't frequent all the time, you might want to, after this show, you might want to give them a call and see if they have any openings for your party, whatever size it might be. Chances are, if it's a really nice place, the answer is going to be no. You waited too long. But you never know. And like I said, if it's going to be somewhere like, your chain restaurants like, I don't know. What's the lobster place called? Red Lobster. Thank you. Red Lobster, then chances are you're going to be able to make a reservation, or Olive Garden or something like that. And then the next step up, or a couple steps up from that, you're going to be hard pressed. So try to make your reservation as early as you possibly can. And for brunch, it's the same thing. There's a lot of people out there that are, a lot of restaurants that do brunches here in Santa Cruz, all up and down the Bay Area, all the way into Monterey and Carmel. There's some great places there also. Aptos has got some great places for brunches. And moms love those damn things. I don't get it, but they love them. So go ahead and do that. Get her some flowers. Get her a bottle of booze. You're the reason she drinks so much, so might as well. But you're going to do something for her. Even if you don't think she deserves it, do it anyway, because that's the right thing to do. I speak, well, I won't say. But anyway, we're going to take my mom to a nice restaurant. We've invited a friend with us. So we're all going to, and she's a mom who doesn't have all her kids her husband's passed away, and all her kids have spread out throughout the country. So she's got nobody. She's a good friend, so we're taking her. So you do something like that, and you're going to have a good time anyway. And you might as well go ahead and enjoy it. Now, let's say, because I've saved enough time here, let's say you're going to do a dinner at home. Okay. And for some people, that is a tradition. They're going to do a home dinner. They're going to invite their mother over to their home. They're going to cook. Mom's not going to lift a finger. And you're going to make something really nice. And the choices are endless, depending on, if you're ethnically inclined, and if you're an Indian family and you're going to do, you're going to do chicken tikka or masala, or you're going to do all the naans and all the beautiful Indian dishes. That's wonderful. And that way your mother, make sure you get her recipes. Unless, of course, you're a better cook than she is. But if you're not, make sure you get her recipes so you don't get that look like, yeah, you definitely forgot something there. Don't want to get that. Because moms will do that. I don't know at what age it cuts off to where they don't believe in, better not say anything, just let it slide. No, they speak their mind. So if you don't want that to happen to you, and you're not as good of a cook as your mom, then, and that goes for any of the foods, whether it's Indian, Asian, Hispanic, African cuisine, French cuisine, and like a Scandinavian cuisine. Of course, I think I've had Scandinavian cuisine. Most of them, except for their sweets, literally get on the ferries and go to the continent of Europe to eat, because it's better than what they get at home. And I'll probably get a lot of hate mail for that, but Marlene is Scandinavian, so I could probably get away with it. Marlene, by the way, is a very good cook. And if she's listening to this show, I love you, honey. Hope you're feeling better, and try not to kill my mother. So if you're going to cook something, make sure you do it right, because you're trying to impress not only your family and your friends, if you have friends over, but your dear old mom. And she did raise you, and it's not as though some moms have this attitude that you owe them. Don't take that attitude. Just take the attitude that you want to impress her. You want to say thank you. And especially if you're coming from out of town, or you don't see your mom that often, and you live, because of our hectic lifestyle the way we live now, then take some time out, do a nice meal for her, even come and pick her up, get her some flowers, even a corsage. Yeah, I know that's old-fashioned, but they're not spring chickens. They'll actually enjoy them. You got a week to get all this stuff together. Make sure your kids are wearing some decent clothes and not a ratty t-shirt and jeans that are a zillion holes in them, even though those are probably more expensive. And make sure they dress up for their grandmother, and that way everybody is, a happy camper. Mom will be impressed. Now, all you guys out there, for your wives that have bore you children, same rules go. If you don't want to cook, take her out to a nice dinner. Make sure your kids are all cleaned up if they're still in the house, and treat the woman of your life decently. With some respect, and with show her that you care, and that goes for even maybe a nice piece of jewelry. Maybe. Or some flowers. I stay away from candy because women love candy, but then they complain about it later on because all that chocolate went someplace that it wasn't supposed to go. And then they blame you for their extra weight loss. So guys, when you wake up in the morning, this doesn't go for just Mother's Day, this goes for every day. You're wrong. Just get up, look over at her and go, honey, She go, yeah. Say, I'm sorry. She go, for what? Say, I have no clue, but I know I'm sorry. And start the day off right. And you can't say I'm sorry like 7 times and have that for the whole week. It doesn't work that way. No. Now, before we go to a break, and then we'll get into some different foods, I want to tell you about a new special with Flavors. Yes, you've heard it in the past, and it's been going on for years, and we keep upgrading it, but it is the, what is it? Oh, I've just gone dead. I'll have to think about it after the break. But it is our mom security device. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we'll get into prime rib. We'll get into, you can still do a turkey or a goose or get yourself a ham. If this is all for at home, by the way. Invisible Mom, that's what it was. Wow. This is going to be a rough one. Invisible Mom, brought to you by Flavors. Invisible Mom. Put the shock collar on her. You set the invisible line around your yard, set her loose, and you don't have to worry about her. Limited availability, so order early. And that gives you the Invisible Mom. All right, we're going to come back, and we'll talk about some food, and then we'll get into our guests. I'm Greg. Marlene ran off with a circus, and this is Flavors.
Is your internet connection slow? Etheric Networks can help you. Etheric Networks is the Bay Area's locally owned alternative to DSL satellite and cable. We do a few things to make our service better. We have a great reputation, and our staff is committed to providing a great user experience. We listen to our customers and listen to our staff. We pay living wages. Our staff are local Bay Area engineers and professionals. We provide flexibility and personalized service. Being in Silicon Valley, we have direct contact with the networking software and hardware companies and can bring new technologies to market before the cable and phone companies. We operate a tower-based fixed wireless network as well as a fiber optic backbone network that rings the Bay. The combination creates an ultra-reliable high-capacity network that you ought to try. KSCO Business Special. Business service up to 10 megabits per second symmetric for as little as $299 a month with a $399 installation fee. Etheric Networks. Call 650-399-4200. Etheric.net.
Hey, America. We need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. That's a website, duh. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Is there life on Mars? It's a question that has fascinated humans since we invented telescopes. This Sunday at 2 p.m. on Planet Watch, join hosts Rachel Ann Goodman and Joe.
I find my sea legs here all by myself, but it wasn't Invisible Mom. I misquoted. It is Free Range Mom. And for all you loyal listeners, you know what Free Range Mom is. It's an invisible fence goes around your yard. You put a shock collar on your mom, and you let her loose out onto the the back 40. And we have it now with GPS tracker, and bling, so she looks stylish while she's out there wandering around in the yard. They go, you know your mom's outside? Yeah, she's fine. We got her right here on our cell phones. We know exactly where she is. So, Free Range Mom, the perfect Mother's Day gift for all of us. Maybe not Mom, but for all the rest of us. Okay. Marlene and I celebrated Cinco de Mayo, which a lot of people to this day seems to think that that's the Mexican Independence Day. It's not. And it's more popular here in the U.S., Estados Unidos, than in Mexico. And they don't really celebrate Cinco de Mayo down there like we do up here. And Marlene and I got out a bottle of our good tequila, and we proceeded to overdo it. Both of us forgetting that that wasn't good for us, nor we should not do that. Well, we kind of told ourselves a little late, like the next day when we woke up, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. I think we had if you count, we had extra large shot glasses, and we had 4 each, so probably about 6 shots of tequila, and it was very good. But no, and we were in bed, so we didn't have to really walk, because one of us, and I won't mention her name, couldn't. It wasn't a pretty thing. We promised never to do this to ourselves again until next time, and it was a lot of fun. We fed my mother, and we went home because we knew that there were going to be a lot of crazies on the road Friday evening, and probably this whole weekend is Cinco de Mayo for a lot of people. They're doing barbecues and fiestas and you name it. And I remember one time we were in San Jose, and we're leaving Original Joe's, and we were going down Santa Clara to the freeway, and we got stuck in traffic jams, which there never is. And it was just bumper to bumper, and most of them were lowrider cars. And Marlene's looking around going, oh, my God, what's happening? What's happening? I roll my window down. I go, hey, what's happening? He goes, it's Cinco de Mayo. So we were cruising. Yes, if you saw a picture of Marlene and I, you would know that we are natural cruisers. Not. But we had a lot of fun, and everyone was really cool and everything else. And that was a lot of fun. So we overdid it for Cinco de Mayo. We got home. We got out a bottle of añejo tequila, and we proceeded to start pouring ourselves drinks one after another, and the end result was not pretty. While we were there and conking out, that was one thing. The next morning, no. Anyway, that's said and done, and for a lot of you that are still celebrating, just be careful out there. It's not worth the DUI or even worse. So just take it easy, or unless you have a designated driver. But think about all the foods you can have and things like that, and have a couple of beers, and it won't affect you as much for your motor skills. Anyway, for Mom, you could do kind of a elongated Cinco de Mayo festivity with enchiladas and nachos and some barbecue chicken or ribs on there. You can make a Mexican casserole, which Marlene and I do, with enchilada sauce, tortillas, cheese, and shredded chicken. And those are really good. We call it our Mexican lasagna, but the other people call it some other kind of dish. But you layer the tortillas on, you put some sauce on there, some cheese, some shredded chicken, and you keep doing this for 3 or 4 layers, and then you bake it off. And what we do is you could either boil your chicken breast or thighs boneless and then shred it, or you can actually grill it first and then shred it. Or you can chop it up into little itsy bitsy pieces, throw it in your cast iron pan, throw some olive oil in there to get it going. Butter's better, but olive oil's better for you. Throw a whole bunch of onions in there and some cilantro. Oh, I love cilantro. And then use some fajita seasonings, and whether it's steak or whether it's chicken, and cook it all up. I was about to say fry it, but it is kind of a pan frying. And then you spread that into your enchilada. Or what we've been doing, because both Marlene and I are on diets, as I explained a few weeks ago. I am now down to, the scale said 285. And you're going, my God, 285. What a pig. And I'm a big boy, and I'm not happy about it. But I topped out at 298. And since I've been on the diet, I have lost, 14 pounds? Or 13 pounds. 13 pounds. So I'm on my way. I've got a long way to go, about somewhere around 220 or 225, somewhere in there, I'll reevaluate where I want to be, whether that I'm happy with that or whether I want to lose some more. But that was my commitment to this show, telling you guys every Sunday where I was. It's 285. And so I was pretty happy to see that this morning. I weigh myself every morning. And everyone says, you're not supposed to weigh yourself every day. Well, I guess some people would say, you're not supposed to breathe so much. Well, I kind of like the air. So I weigh myself every morning. It works for me. Maybe it doesn't work, because you do go up and down. And you get a little depressed going, oh, my God, I gained a half a pound. And then, of course, the next day, oh, my God, I lost. So I know the average is, and I go with that. So there you have it. I'm at 285 and going that route. You're going to want to, as far as mom's dinner, plan what you're going to do. Plan it. If you haven't already done that, do it today, because if you plan on taking her out to dinner, minus, IHOP or Denny's or Del Taco or fast food of some sort, it's too late to, it's getting kind of late to make reservations, especially if you wait till Thursday or Wednesday and say, oh yeah, let's make a reservation. They're booked. Everyone else has got the same idea. Call today, make the reservation. You might get it earlier than you wanted or later than you wanted. Take it and go that route. If you're going to do dinner at home, start planning it today so you can go to the market, because guess what? You're not the only one going to do that, and you're going to go to your market and you're going to think, I'm going to get this special ham, or I'm going to get something that you really like. Well, there are probably a lot of other people that really like that also, and they're going to get the idea and they're going to go out and buy it, and then you're going to be looking at it going, what do you mean you're out? And they go, well, yeah, we just, it was popular, so we didn't do it. Or, we sold out. We didn't order enough. And so plan early, execute your plan. And as we say in the trading business, plan your trade your plan, and don't deviate. And you'll be much better off. We got the Manners Simply's ladies coming on later on in the show, and they're going to be real helpful when it comes to that kind of stuff, because we will talk about it. But now I have my first guest, so Greg's not all by himself anymore. And let's see, and we've got Paul Clark from Imbibe Magazine. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, that's good. Marlene and I kind of overdid it with our tequila on Friday, and Marlene's still feeling the effects of it. It nailed us both.
That happens from time to time.
It nailed both of us yesterday. It was like, okay, Saturday in bed, and you go, oh, well, that sounds nice. No, not the way we were feeling. Wasn't good. But we're here to talk about the new Imbibe magazine, Barcelona. Ooh, wow, look at that. And this is
indeed.
And this is the May-June edition. And let's start at the beginning. And what fun things do we have in this publication?
Well, this is what actually, over the years I've been doing this is one of my favorite issues yet. Partially because, as you can see on the cover, and as folks who pick this up will see on the cover, we're going to Barcelona, and it's a fantastic image. Very kind of Almodovar-esque photo on the cover, yes. And really the cocktail bars and the vermouth bars, because that's the thing in Barcelona. They very much have that totally impressive appearance to them, and real quality coming out of some of the bars in Barcelona. So we take our readers through some of the more interesting cocktail places that are related to some of the finest restaurants in the world, as well as Barcelona's vermouth culture, because again, it's very much a thing in Spain.
I remember in Italy ordering a martini, and it was mostly vermouth. And,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I went, ugh. I go, what was this made with? And then they told me, and I go, in my inner voice, I thought, well, okay, this is the way they do it. It's not for me to say, no, you're doing it wrong. This is the way they do it. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Yeah, I've noticed when I go through, and not that it doesn't happen here, but even in smaller lounges throughout Europe, they really put on a show. They're well dressed. We go to this coffee house in Rome called Cafe Greco. All they're doing is serving desserts and coffee, and they're all dressed in tuxedos.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different culture. I guess that would be that way to put it. Okay, so Mark, let's see what we have here. You want to do what parts of Barcelona did they go to? Are there different districts of it, or?
Oh yeah, he covers a few places. They're on this France He's his first time working with us, but he's based in Madrid, and he's very familiar with the bars in Barcelona. So we get to a few of the different areas of the city, looking at some of the gin and tonic bars, because that's, again, this is kind of an interesting aspect of Barcelona's drink culture, and that the gin and tonic is almost a religious totem. You everywhere you go, you see these giant kind of balloon snifters full of iced gin and tonic, and they're, again, very impressive. They have really ornate garnishes with citrus and with flowers and peppercorns and things of that nature, little lavender blossoms sprinkled over them. And so he goes to some of the gin and tonic bars, as well as to a bar called Dry Martini, because gin, for whatever reason, has this particular hold in Spain and Arizona.
You're cutting out on us, Paul.
Oh, sorry. I was saying gin has this particular Barcelona with folks there. So bars like Dry Martini or bars like Bobby Gin, which we have a cocktail recipe from them. Also, some of the bars are affiliated with some of the finer restaurants. For example, Albert Adria, who with his brother Ferran, for a long time ran one of the world's most acclaimed restaurants, and now they own a number of them in Barcelona that also include very ornate, very particular cocktails.
Hey, Paul, do me a favor and call back. Let me get you on another line,
Sure.
Okay? Call me back.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do that.
All right. He was. Paul was talking about, and he'll call us right back. Is we have a customer or a guest coming on from a company called Botanical, and they put out these kits where you're actually making cocktails with flowers and herbs and spices, and these are not grounded; these are the whole herb, which just really, really cool stuff. And okay, there we go. Let me try it here. Paul, you back with us?
Yeah, does that work better for you?
Yeah, we're better. Better line.
Excellent.
All right.
Great.
In fact, I was just telling everybody, there's a guest coming on I think in around a month or so, that puts out a botanical kit for cocktails, and they're out of Spain. And you buy these things, and they're like in their own little suitcases with their own little compartments of the different spices and flowers and things like that in whole form, whole sticks of cinnamon, whole sticks of everything else, and flowers, dried flowers and things like that. He made us a cocktail. We were at the Fancy Food Show. He made us a cocktail, and it was delicious. He goes, "What do you want?" I go, "What kind of liquor?" I go, "Do you have gin?" He goes, "Yeah." So we did a gin one, and it comes out of Spain. So these guys really know their stuff.
Absolutely.
You have an insert in here, and it's official bar passport. What is that all about?
Well, basically, coming up in just a month from now is Negroni Week. It'll be the 5th annual Negroni Week, and basically this is a global fundraising effort for charities that we kicked off 5 years ago, and now we have literally thousands of bars from around the world will participate, where they serve Negronis during this week, and they divert some donations to various charities on a list. We've done it in the past before, where each bar, for every Negroni that they sold, they would direct $1 to a charity of their choice. We're getting a little bit more organized on that this year, where we have a select list of vetted charities, places and profit organizations they know do great work in a number of different areas, and bars can sign up to give us another fundraising through for this year.
Okay. If you're moving around, stop it. Keep breaking up on me. This is going on from June 5th through 11th. So, okay, so it's what, the 7th today? You there, Paul?
Right. So yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I can hear you now. Keep talking.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, I'll sit by the window. Maybe that works better.
Yeah.
So about from now, the Negroni Week charity event will kick off all around the world, and I'll be in New York City for the kickoff event this year.
Okay, now that already started, didn't it? That started on Friday.
It'll be June 5th.
Oh, June. Yeah, I'm staring right at it. Okay, staring right. Okay, June 5th through the 11th, and there's quite a few. There's Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, New Orleans, New York, Philadelphia, Portland, San Francisco, gang, Seattle. Wow, Seattle. There's a place I was looking at the list, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 10 bars each, and there's probably more if you go on. Is this on your Imbibe website also?
Yeah, you go to the Imbibe website, or you can go to NegroniWeek.com for a full list of all of the participating bars, and for bar owners to sign up. Because you can sign up to participate all the way up until just before the event starts.
Hang in there, Paul. We got to take another break. We'll be right back. I'm Greg. Marlene ran off with the circus, and this is Flavors. We'll be back.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. In the world of sports performance, you're not going to find a more popular and important anabolic strength-boosting supplement than glutamine, therapeutic nutrient that does a lot more than build muscle. Glutamine's reputation as a go-to building nutrient is well-deserved, and it's been used as such by bodybuilders and weightlifters for decades. It can also help athletes after prolonged strenuous exercise by preventing the breakdown of muscle and reducing inflammation. You don't have to be a gym rat to enjoy its anabolic bodybuilding benefits. Breastfeeding infants depend on it as a growth-inducing element, and up to half of the amino acids in mother's milk are glutamine. And if you're hooked on sweets, glutamine can help with sugar addiction. Under certain conditions, brain cells can convert the amino acid into glucose, and this may make it useful for beating cravings. Glutamine is found in high-protein foods. Whey protein is an especially good source, so are organ meats and seafood, as well as eggs and dairy. If you're a vegetarian, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get dietary glutamine. You'll find some in beans, soy, and other lentils, as well as beets, cabbage, and collard greens. As a nutritional supplement, glutamine is readily available as tablets or capsules. 0.5 gram to 2 grams a day is a good starting dose. If you're in the gym a lot or in recovery from surgery, or if you're ill, you may need higher doses. Use it once or twice a day, adding 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoonful of the straight powder. It's tasteless. To a protein smoothie or a glass of water. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
You may have heard about the 90 essential nutrients or the Mighty 90 needed for good health. But with all the products out there, what exactly are they talking about? The Mighty 90 is 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 60 plant-derived minerals, and 2 essential fatty acids. So now you know. But with all the products you see and hear advertised, what exactly do you buy to come up with the Mighty 90 and the right ratios to promote good health? Youngevity has made it easy with the Healthy Start Pack, which contains 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine vitamin and plant-derived mineral complex, 1 bottle of bone and joint enriching OsteoFX Plus, and 1 bottle of EFA Plus essential fatty acids, all in the proper ratios to promote good health and vitality. For more information or to order, call Andy or Phyllis Anderson at 888-245-0300. That's 888-245-0300.
Okay, we're back. I'm Greg, and you're listening to Flavors with our special guest, Paul Clark from Imbibe Magazine. Welcome back, Paul.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, I was looking at the, then we'll move on. I was looking at the San Francisco locations, which would interest our listeners the most. There's a whole bunch. Comstock Saloon, Horse Feathers, Malo, the Treasury, Trick Dog, Whitechapel, Wild Hawk, and here's one, the Cavalier. My father owned a restaurant called the Cavalier down in L.A. back when I was a Ute. So that kind of hit me. I actually went last year and found a coffee, and it's long gone. It's an empty lot now, but I've actually found a coffee mug from the Cavalier restaurant on eBay and bought it. Trying to find a menu now, but try to regain something from my. Here we go.
Right.
Let's see. We've got beer. Looks like Blonde Ambition.
Yeah. So Josh Bernstein, our contributing editor who covers all things beer for us, is digging into some of these kind of perfect beers for late springtime as we start heading into summer. So some of the blonde ales that used to be kind of disdained or poo-pooed by craft brewers because they were really into making their big hot IPAs or their really or things. Really nice, lighter, easy to still craft, and you can still have a domestic flavor through these kinds of beers.
You are cutting out all over the place there, young man. We never had this problem with you before, or with your phone.
No, it's
Dr.
I hear you.
Dr. Patrick McGovern helps ancient drinks bubble back to life. Time in a bottle. Interesting.
Yeah, he's a really fascinating guy. He has a book coming out this spring as well. He's a anthropologist, archaeologist in Pennsylvania, and has worked for years to dig out the different ways that ancient cultures, ancient civilizations would make things to drink, make kind of prehistoric beers and prehistoric wines, and then works to recreate those.
Oh, and before I forget, you got me my contact for Hendrix, Mark over there, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We're trying to put together a what would they call it? We're going to do a show from a restaurant, and we're going to bring Hendrix and maybe even like Stella Artois on there and do a big party for 2 hours and talk all about Hendrix and Stella. So hopefully.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
And if it happens, I'll let you know. And if you're in the neighborhood, I definitely want you to stop by.
Please do, yeah.
That'd be fun. Let's see here. What other big things in this publication do you want to talk about?
Well, one of the features that we're already getting a lot of feedback on and seeing a lot of circulation online is the feature called Hazard Signals. And basically it's looking into how bartenders, in their quest to be creative, occasionally push the envelope and do things that maybe aren't quite so safe. So, for example, one of the things that you see sometimes in bars, and this always freaks me out every time I see this, is a bartender that will be making bitters or an infusion using tobacco or cigar. Basically, because nicotine is a neurotoxin, and once you extract that in alcohol, you're really kind of putting people's safety in jeopardy. So what this feature does is it digs into some of these things that you see different bartenders doing and talks to people like toxicologists, talks to botanists, talks to folks who have some expertise in the kinds of risks that these present to people. And basically the whole effort is to try to get bartenders to think about what they're putting in the glass and to keep everybody's safety in mind when they're doing these kinds of experimental preparations.
Yeah, I saw on TV last night one of the things that they'll light the drink on fire, and that doesn't always go well. No.
I mean, you can if you search around on YouTube, you find lots of videos of people setting punches on fire or drinks on fire, and usually setting themselves on fire at the same time.
Yeah, and usually setting themselves on fire. Yeah, that's
exactly.
not a good thing.
Or you see the curtains go up. It's these kinds of things. It seems like a lot of fun, but there's also a lot of hazard there.
Someone
and
get hurt
once you start playing around. Yeah, exactly.
That ruins everyone's night. So
yeah,
play it safe. Have a well-crafted cocktail and enjoy it, and enjoy the people you're with. Can't see why you needed more thrills than that. I looked at here. You got world's most award-winning distillery, Buffalo Trace Distillery. And I'm not a big drinker, but the only one that I recognize out of all the bottles here is Stag. But it's saying that this, and we're out of Buffalo, New York, or where are they out of? Oh, Kentucky.
Well, no, it's Kentucky. They're at a spot on the Kentucky River where the Buffalo Trail used to pass through there. So as the buffalo would be passing through that region, heading down to the river to drink, they left this path that you can still see today, and it's called the Buffalo Trace. But basically, they make a number of different kinds of bourbons, rye whiskeys, other types of spirits, and some really spectacular bourbons as well. You mentioned the Stag, but they also, this is the distillery that makes Pappy Van Winkle, which is the big cult bourbon that nobody can ever buy anymore because it's in such high demand. As well as things like Buffalo Trace and Weller and so on.
And this distillery's been, how long is it? Oh, it's over 200 years.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest operating distilleries in Kentucky and in the United States. And they've been operating under one name or another, as they say, for over 200 years. And I was just there a couple of months ago, and they have something really interesting. Because they do tours of the distillery. It's a really fascinating place. But recently, when they were doing excavation under one of their current buildings, they found some of the structures that had been there in the mid-19th century that had basically been covered over. So they had these old stone fermenting tanks and some, I believe there's an old pump house. And basically it's kind of like a bourbon Pompeii that they had dug up. And so they're cleaning it up. They're going to start doing tours there, I believe, this summer. And they're even going to put one of those fermenters back into action and make an experimental whiskey in it.
And these are brick buildings, too, huh?
Yeah, it's a really fascinating place, and for folks who are it's in Frankfort, Kentucky. So if you're ever in Frankfort, I really recommend taking the tour there. It's a fascinating place and a really, really impressive distillery.
It's out in the middle of the woods. Of course, you go to the East Coast, and there's green everywhere. It's not like the West Coast, or at least not like Los Angeles. Los Angeles, you get off the asphalt for 5 feet and you wonder you're back in the Stone Age. Let's see here. What else we got going for you? Okay. The number one Polish vodka. And that's, how do you pronounce that? Wybora?
Wyborowka.
I wasn't even close. Wow. Yeah, Marlene and I took a Scandinavian cruise a few years back. And Imperia was our favorite vodka we found while we were in St. Petersburg. And we went to a Total Wine, when was it? Back for Valentine's Day. And they didn't have it, but they had another company there that they said, well, this is the company that makes Imperia. Maybe you know who that company is? Have any idea?
No, I don't.
Okay. Let's see here. Anyway, the vodka or the gin was just yummy, just really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Anatomy of a Drink, Prim's Cup. What's that all about?
Well, the Pimm's Cup is, if you ever watch Wimbledon or if you've ever been to the tennis match at Wimbledon, this is pretty much the signature drink at Wimbledon. Pimm's is it's lighter alcohol. I hesitate to call it a liqueur because it's not really sweet, but it's basically a gin-based spirit It's kind of savory, mildly bitter, mildly sweet, and very kind of floral. And typically at Wimbledon and throughout the British summertime, they'll mix it with fizzy lemonade or with ginger ale to drink it. But also in New Orleans, this has become a big, very popular drink in New Orleans, especially at a bar called Napoleon House, where it's their signature drink. They sell just probably hundreds of them on a daily basis. It's a little bit lower alcohol. It's really refreshing with the lemonade in there, and it's just absolutely delicious.
The cucumber wheel, is that just for show, or does it actually add a flavor to it?
No, it's just for the garnish, just for
garnish.
Okay. And it gives it kind of a nice bright little fragrance.
I was at Wimbledon. Well, I actually wasn't. I was at the hotel that overlooks Wimbledon in '77. That was my one and only time anywhere close to Wimbledon. Anyway, ancient history. Let's see here. Uncle Val's Martini Lounge. Uncle Val's. What's Uncle Val's about?
It's Uncle Val's is it's a gin. It's a brand of gin. They have a few different styles there. They're botanical forward, a kind of a spicier peppered one, and then a more herbaceous one.
Okay, I have to try that because like I was saying when you were recalling in, we have a company called Botanicals coming on that gives you these kits with all these different botanicals in them in their own little separate boxes, and they give you recipe cards, and you make it out of. We made it out of gin, and they were delicious, really, really good. Makers Me Speak Design. It's an article.
Yeah, so Makers is it's a recurring column that we have where we talk to people who make different things for use either in the bar or for coffee houses. And so for Me Speak Design, it's a married couple that makes basically they're metal workers. They make everything from chopsticks to these kinds of ornate bar spoons, muddlers, ladles, things of that nature. So we profile every issue somebody who does something interesting, whether it's a certain kind of glassware or a certain kind of punch bowl or coffee equipment, things of that nature.
Okay. See here, you have a section in here called Q&A.
Yeah. So again, with that, we find somebody who's doing something interesting in the drinks world, and for this issue, we went with Michael Madrusin. And Michael, I first came across him years ago when he was working in New York City at some of the better cocktail bars there. When it came time for him to leave New York and look at a place, try to find a city somewhere to open a new bar, he headed for Melbourne, Australia. And so now he has a new book coming out called A Spot at the Bar that really goes into the details behind this bar that he runs in Melbourne called the Everly. Which, in the time since he's opened it, it's turned into, one of the most notable bars in the world.
Is it going to be a recipe book?
It has recipes in there. A lot of them are, in true bar fashion. A lot of them are presented as if they were written on napkins or on the back of a coaster.
Cool.
But yeah, it has a lot of recipes as well as, kind of a look inside the bar at the way that they operate and their philosophy. And it's also just a very beautiful bar. So they include a lot of works regarding that to really kind of show off their bar.
Where is the bar?
It's in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, in Australia. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll have to get a hold of his book, get him on the show. That'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Here's one. Where's my pony? Pony glass. Why does barware always invoke toward less colorful names?
Yeah, Wayne Curtis, our columnist, every issue he digs into some kind of item that's in use in the bar. And for this one, he uses the pony glass, which is something you don't really hear about anymore. But in the 19th century, if you look at the old bar guides, bartenders' recipe books and so on, they always talk about pony glasses. And basically, a pony is a 1-ounce glass. It's a short little glass that used to be used to serve cordials or liqueurs, but it's also used for measurement. And so Wayne digs into, what happened to the pony? Where did it go? And, why don't we ever use this terminology anymore? Because, again, the bar world used to have such colorful terminology, and now we're just down to ounces and milliliters and, things that are all kind of mundane.
Okay, one last thing, and then we're kind of out of time. No joke. Some of the best drinks on today's bar's menu are mocktails. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, basically what we wanted to do is look at how some of the top craft cocktail bars are applying that same kind of creativity and insight to non-alcoholic drinks. Because they realize that, if you've built your reputation off of making, such impressive cocktails and really fascinating drinks, that then if somebody comes in and, whether because they're pregnant or they're the driver or they're just not having a drink that night for whatever reason, you can't just give them a Coke. You have to give them something interesting, something that keeps them involved and makes them enjoy being in your bar.
So are these these are non-alcoholic drinks?
These are non-alcoholic drinks, but made from some of the top bartenders in the world.
Wow, that would be really interesting.
So, yeah, how do they deal with, making something that's every bit as interesting and every bit as engaging as all of the other cocktails on their menu without using alcohol?
Marlene and I should have done that on Friday night instead of what we did. Wasn't pretty. Paul, it is always a pleasure. Gang, the magazine is called Imbibe, IMBIBE. And we've been talking about the May-June issue. It's worth getting. We love this magazine, Paul. We really appreciate you coming on the show. And it is now. Can they get this on at the magazine racks or places like that?
Sure. Yeah, you can buy this at select newsstands, and just go online to imbibemagazine.com to find a place nearby to pick up a copy.
Cool. Thanks again, Paul. Take it easy.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, gang. Well, there's the first hour. I haven't gotten a call from the sheriff, so I guess my mom's still alive. I'm Greg. This is Flavors, and we will be back.
CO Santa Cruz.
News. I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A young centrist will become the next president of France. CBS's Elaine Cobb in Paris.
Emmanuel Macron has won the election with 65% of the vote. That means he has roundly defeated Marine Le Pen. The exit polls here are usually remarkably accurate. All the media are calling it for him. You can probably hear behind me here on the Place de la République. There are car horns honking. The word is getting out. It is on all the news, and there's a lot of relief here.
Macron addressing supporters through an interpreter outside the Louvre.
My dear citizens, a new page of our history has been turned tonight, and I would like it to be that of hope and of trust.
Populist Marine Le Pen has congratulated her opponent. President Trump tweets his own congratulations on what he calls a big win. Mr. Trump says he looks forward to working with Macron. Despite criticism over its definition of pre-existing conditions, House Speaker Paul Ryan tells ABC the Republican health care plan includes provisions that assure access.
The goal here is two things: get premiums down, give people choices, and make sure that people with pre-existing conditions get coverage, and we have multiple layers of this.
More from CBS's Steve Dorsey.
From his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, President Trump tweeted, Republican senators will not let the American people down. He called Obamacare a lie, saying it's dead. It comes as Republican senators signal their plans to overhaul the bill sent to them by the House or start from scratch, with a vote that could still be weeks, if not months away. They worry the House rushed it through before the Congressional Budget Office could finish its cost-benefit analysis. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, the White House.
At least 2 people killed, 6 injured in multiple ISIS suicide bombings at a military base in northern Iraq, where U.S. advisors are stationed. CBS News national security analyst Jeff McCausland.
They would like to not only do damage to the Kurdish Peshmerga, who are carrying the principal load in many ways on the offensive against Mosul and elsewhere, but also if in the course of that they could kill some Americans, that would be for them a bonus effect, particularly in propaganda terms.
There is no word yet on whether any of the victims in Kirkuk were Americans. A check-in at the gas pump.
Gasoline prices are drifting down. In fact, there's been a nickel drop in the past 2 weeks, with regular now at $2.41.
Industry analyst Trilby Lundberg.
Within that average, there's a wide range, as always. In Tulsa, the low in our panel of cities, the average price is $2.02. And in San Francisco, it's $3.02.
The controversial online series 13 Reasons Why will be back. Netflix has renewed the story of a teenage suicide for a second season. This is CBS News.
After all the sleep you cost your mom through the years, it's time to give it all back. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift she deserves: great sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. Our sheets are handcrafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer over time. We guarantee she'll love them. She can try them risk-free for 30 nights. Now through Mother's Day, get $50 off your first set plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP. That's bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Patching up some people who really needed it in Los Angeles.
24 people in need of various surgeries went in and out of the operating room at Kaiser Permanente's West LA Medical Center, and they didn't have to spend a dime. They couldn't. Many of them are homeless. Others just don't make enough to afford health insurance, and they've all had to put off procedures.
Those are the kind of opportunities that we're affording people who otherwise would be on the margins of society.
Dr. Claire Thomas with Kaiser says nurses and surgeons volunteered to do the work on their time off. The hospital covered all of the surgical costs. Cooper Rummel, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Her formal education ended after high school. But Nicki Minaj wants to encourage young fans to go to college. She's agreed to pay off outstanding loans and tuition for many of them after a Twitter contest to join the rapper at the Billboard Music Awards. When a fan asked if Minaj would pay for her tuition instead, she's already agreed to dozens of requests. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
After all the sleep you cost your mom through the years, it's time to give it all back. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift she deserves: great sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. Our sheets are handcrafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer over time. We guarantee she'll love them. She can try them risk-free for 30 nights. Now through Mother's Day, get $50 off your first set plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP. That's bollandbranch.com, promo code SLEEP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Good afternoon. You're listening to KSCO Santa Cruz 105. A beautiful Sunday afternoon, May 7th, 2017. We'll get a look at your traffic and weather right now. Collision report at Old Stage Road at Spence. No injuries, thankfully, happened a couple, 2-3 minutes ago there. Also a collision out there at Highway 25 at San Benito Lateral. Came in at 12:48. Looks like a motorcycle down, unknown injuries. Hopefully they will be all right. Also, just before noon, collision northbound 25 at Coalinga, mile marker 9.5. Major injuries. Unfortunately. Highway 1 into Santa Cruz, well below the limit, approaching 41st, 5 miles an hour, backed up to about Freedom Boulevard. Southbound speeds at the limit all the way to Carmel. 68, 101, both wide open. 17 northbound heavy into Los Gatos. Your weather today, sunny, beautiful skies. We do have a high surf advisory in effect till 2 p.m. 70 degrees, your high today in Santa Cruz. Cloudy overnight at low near 49. Tomorrow, like today, sunny with a high near 69. It's 107 in KSCO. Time for Hour 2 of the Flavors Radio Show with your host, Chef Greg. KSCO, Santa Cruz.
Opinions expressed in the following Flavors program are not necessarily those of the management of KSCO. However, our management is fine. We feed them well. Listening to Flavors may, but not necessarily, cause daydreaming of great meals that someone else's mom may have cooked for you many years ago. Other side effects may occur like stomach cramps, uncontrolled drooling, putting on an apron for no reason at all, telling everyone your best friend is a butcher, have the butcher look at you weird as you call him buddy, love handles, baby fat, ample posterior, liking and actually eating vegetables, trying new things for dinner, making your grocer mad because of all the new things you're asking for, and all around being in a better mood. If hunger or drooling persist for more than 4 hours, call your doctor or call into the Flavors Show. Don't say you weren't warned. Flavors.
Okay, everybody, I'm back. I usually say we're back, but I'm back. This is Greg. Marlene ran off with the circus. Had to take care of my mother today, and still not feeling very good from Friday night's festivities. But the show will go on, and we are trying to get a hold of our next guest, who is MIA, so it just goes along with the day. If she doesn't show up, my next guest, hopefully they show up. No one wants to talk to Greg today. Oh, well. Hey, if you got something you're going to do for your mother on Mother's Day, why don't you call in? Because obviously I've got a little bit of time. And Rosemary and Linda, Reed, if you're listening, call in now. I'll give you the whole hour. But for anybody out there that's going to do something nice for their mother on Mother's Day next week, call me, and let's get you on the air and see what you got planned for your mom. All right. Now, as we were talking about mom, you can actually do something really neat for your mom, and that's just pay attention to her. She likes that, believe it or not. And what you might think is very simple, poor old mom is sitting back, not doing anything, especially if she's retired. And if your mom's sort of like my mom, a little lethargic, she just likes the company. You don't even have to talk to her. She just likes the company. She'll say, Mom. I go, Mom, what are you doing? And she'll go, you haven't even talked to me. All right, we got our first call in, and it is Richie. Richie, welcome to the show.
Have you ever heard of Sterling Moss?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Dan Gurney?
Dan Gurney. I should, but...
Okay. In 1962 at Laguna Seca, the winner of the race won the PIMS Cup that they had. And they had the head of the PIMS company from England over here to give it away and all that stuff.
Wow.
My impression at the time was that, and I was only like 14, but anyway, they had on the program, they had some kind of recipe, and they would mix that PIMS Cup with champagne.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was on the board of directors of Laguna Seca Raceway for many years.
Well, maybe you had too many PIMS Cups and you forgot.
Shh. There's always that possibility.
It's supposed to be. They had a great big silver goblet-looking thing that it was the actual cup.
I actually came on board around 2001 or maybe even earlier than that, but it wasn't back in the 60s, I can tell you that.
Were you an Austin Healey man at one time?
Oh, I still am an Austin Healey man.
Yeah.
And mostly an Aston Martin man.
Yeah. Aston Martin, my God, that's the real blue blood stuff.
Oh, God, I'd kill for an Aston Martin.
They
the last James Bond movie that came out where they shot his Aston Martin all up to hell, I cried. It was like,
I don't think those cars are actually Aston Martins or something else. The real Aston Martins are like in the late 60s, or early 60s and late 50s.
Oh, beautiful cars. Beautiful cars. Yeah.
Well, that's what the story is on the PIMS Cup.
The PIMS Cup.
An old Okie boy in East Salinas.
Okay, well, thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy. Bye. Hey, it looks as though we might actually have our caller. No, we don't. Okay, gang. Anyone else want to call in and let me know what you're doing for your mom on Mother's Day? Or is no one doing squat for Mom on Mother's Day? Call in and let me know about that, too. Hey, Marlene, if you're listening, call in. Okay. Anyway, anywho, you can do a lot of different things for your mom. Your mom, quite honestly, just wants the company. And it'll tickle her fancy just for you sitting there and smiling. You can just watch TV together, and she'll be a happy camper, believe it or not. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to blow the budget or anything else. Just be there. And they do appreciate it. And even though you might look at it as though it's kind of silly or foolish, they don't look at it that way. Okay, let's see. You could do a roast. And a roast would be fine. You can do, where are we? It looks like we might have another caller calling in. Cool. You could do a roast. You could throw the roast in a crock pot. And that would be good. Hey, I think we've got someone on the line that everyone's familiar with. Miss, what's your name?
Hi, it's Marlene.
Hey, she's back from the dead, gang. Hot damn.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought I'd give you an update.
yes. Are you a wanted lady? Are you running from the law?
Well, no, and she's still alive, but barely.
Oh, today's been a rough day. Give me some good news.
I got there and I wasn't needed. She got in. Yeah.
Gang, the thing is, my mother called us about 10 minutes before the show was to start, called me up all in a panic saying I forgot my key and she was locked out of her place. And we decided that Marlene would go there and I'd just take the show myself. And so far, Marlene, I've had 2 no-shows.
I know, I've been listening.
It's been a rough show. We're having fun.
On the good side, I have fresh tamales for you.
Oh, tamales. Hot damn. I'll marry you all over again for that.
But I had to maneuver around Watsonville to get them because they're having a big festival in downtown Watsonville.
Go figure,
so
huh?
If anybody needs something to do today, it's happening in downtown Watsonville.
And I always thought that was Soledad. It's happening in Watsonville too.
Yes.
Wow.
Today it's happening in Watsonville.
You know, we always pass. We drive a lot of rural roads in Prunedale and other places, and we see these big homes where, like on a weekend like now, they throw these huge parties, and you know they've got to have great food there. And even in Castroville, where my mom lives, every so once in a while we see these huge parties going on. And we go, and it looks like they're having the greatest of time, and I'll bet they have the best food in there. You know, where old their grandmothers and their mothers are making enchiladas or tamales or carnitas or
I thought I'd turn lemons into lemonade.
Oh, hang on. What are we doing? Are we breaking?
No, just shooting hoops.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jason, are you doing anything for your mom? Okay, we'll move on.
Shooting hoops?
Shooting hoops. So she got in and instead of calling me back to say I got myself in. Okay, lovely.
Oh, she said she was just going to call.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that doesn't do me any good.
Because
I was on my way.
It took you a half hour to get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, more than that because traffic was bad.
Yeah. Well, we've had Imbibe.
Par for the course.
We've had Imbibe on. I've told everybody about
I've been listening.
Our free-range mom, which I mistaked as Invisible Mom, and corrected that. Paul was great. I'm here. I'm listening to see whether or not Rosemary and Linda are listening to the show, and they can call in early and get some more airtime if they'd like. And anybody out there that's going to do something special for their mother, give us a call. And what's the number? What's the number, Marlene?
479-1080.
There you go. Call in. Let me know. Let me know what you're going to do special for your mom, or how I have to take my mom out, and how you got away with doing nothing. and
oh boy, it's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. That's probably where everyone is, out and about. Are you feeling better?
Kinda.
You sound a little bit better. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So I was telling everybody what we're going to do we're going to take my mother out, and we're going to take a friend that all her kids are, long distance away, so she was going to be alone. So we're going to take her with us also.
I've been listening.
Oh, you've been listening. Oh, okay.
I've been listening. Yeah. You miss me.
I do. I mean, the show is just not the same without you. I know you kind of sound down. You need to perk up a little. I'm lonely. I'm so lonely.
You so lonely?
I'm so lonely. I'm looking over at your chair, and it's empty, and we're a team. And even
I'm on my way.
And even my good. Maybe you'll be here by the time Rosemary and Linda call in. You can join in on the festivities. I'm even thinking of calling North Korea and talking to my buddy Kimmy, and see if he'll talk to me today. And there's the break. All right, Marlene. Thanks for calling in. See you in a bit.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. This is Greg, and hey, Marlene's on the way. And this is Flavors, and we'll see you in a bit.
Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you.
Hello, parents. Here's an invitation to make a big difference in your young child's growth and brain development at Music Together with Musical Me.
And Music Together with Musical Me will bring joyous, interactive, developmentally rich, and fun music making into the life of your entire family.
Musical Me offers music together throughout Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, and Monterey counties. Enroll your child 6 and under today and bring joy into everybody's life.
For information and locations, visit musicalme.com. musicalme.com.
Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you.
The original Stagnaro family has been in business since 1879. The Stagnaro name stands for quality, quantity, and great service. The family's Gilda's restaurant on the Santa Cruz Municipal Wharf is still the fishing headquarters of the Santa Cruz area. It's where fishermen gather each morning for coffee and breakfast before heading out on the bay. Stop by Gilda's and say hi. Dino looks forward to meeting you at Gilda's on the center of the Santa Cruz Municipal Wharf.
Hi, everyone. This is Meg from the Lumen Market, letting you know that the store has you covered for your Cinco de Mayo celebration. Sales throughout all the departments, including meat department, where we have skirt steak for $13.99 a pound, New York steaks, $8.99 a pound, hulat steaks, $8.49 a pound, fresh Atlantic salmon, $9.99 a pound, extra large shrimp, $14.99 a pound, and made in-house hot Italian and chicken basil sausages for $5.99 a pound. Big Joe and Produce Department wants you to know that they are spicing up the savings for this holiday for you. Avocados, 89 cents each. Roma tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. Jalapenos, 99 cents a pound. Cilantro, 69 cents each. Mangoes, 79 cents each. Limes, 6 for $1, and lemons, 3 for $1. In organics, they have cluster tomatoes at $1.99 a pound. Fuji or Gala apples, $1.69 a pound. And much, much more. The Cinco de Mayo specials will last through next Wednesday, so be sure to come in and take advantage. And thank you for shopping with us at the Lumen Market.
Recently on the Alex Darnell Show,
if he asked Donald Trump, say, about the birther movement, he says, well, didn't you know this was a lie? I mean, how did you not know it was a lie for the last 5 years you've been talking about it? If, as you say, you said you sent investigators over to Honolulu to investigate Obama's birth records. Well, had he really done that, I think he would have found that there's a long-form birth certificate on file, filed in 1961 whenever Obama was born, and there would be nothing more to investigate. But, of course, Trump wouldn't let something like that go because he doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about smearing people or insulting people. We know that, right? He doesn't care about the truth. He only cares about his political agenda.
Don't miss KSCO presents Alex Darnell every Monday from 2 to 4 on KSCO.
Okay, we are back. I'm Greg, and Marlene is on her way. I guess circus life just wasn't for her, so she's on her way. Thank goodness. Anyway, I was listening to the commercials, which all of us should be doing. Some great people out there. Anyway, they were talking about guacamoles for sale, or avocados. I skipped a step. I'm gonna actually stop and get some avocados. Get one lime, some salt, a little onion. Let's see what else. You put some salt in it, and I'm gonna chop up some cilantro, and maybe even a little tomato. Maybe get one Roma tomato and chop it up, and mix it all together, and make some great guacamole, and have some guacamole this afternoon. That sounds good. How's that, Marlene, if you're listening? Guacamole sounds pretty good with our tamales. So we'll look forward to getting that. Gang, there are so many ways of celebrating Cinco de Mayo besides getting yourself all foobarbed and getting yourself in trouble with the local constable. So you can have a great time. You can make some great food, easy. And I would suggest, and this is just me talking, but I would suggest that, we got somebody calling in. Hopefully it's one of our gals. That you make your own guacamole. That stuff that they put in tubs is, it's just, I don't get it. It's just, I don't get it. It's just not good. Man, you can't be that inept in the kitchen or that lazy not to make your own. The difference, the quality difference is night and day. So I would suggest that you do that. And real easy. A couple of guacamoles, or depending on how many people you're having, but for a couple of people, or 3 or 4 people, a couple guacamoles, a lime, 1 small onion, half a bunch of cilantro, or not even maybe that much, onion, garlic, the tomato in there, and then salt it to taste, to whatever your taste is. Get some corn chips, and boom, you're in town. You're in business, and it's delicious. It's really good. Okay, we have one of our next guests that's on, so I'm going to lock her on, and then we'll bring her on, and then we'll wait for the next one to call in. All right, Linda, you with us?
I am.
Okay, now I got you locked on. All right. I wish you had called in earlier. Our 1 o'clock flaked on me, so.
Oh no!
I've been talking to myself the whole time.
Wow. Well, we certainly have enough to talk about forever. So.
Okay, we're going to talk about. Let me see. I'll get my. I kept your list because of our talking points that we were going to do. And it had to do with setting the table, preparing the table, remembering what your mother told you, and serving tips, dining tips, and table talk. So, where do you want to start?
Well, when we talk about setting the table, we know that a lot of people don't like to entertain or are afraid of entertaining or inviting guests to their house because they don't know some of the basic rules, and they're intimidated by the whole process. So the first thing to decide is what you're going to serve. And what you're going to serve then determines what you place on the table in terms of your place settings.
True.
So you don't need a champagne glass if you're having brunch but not serving champagne. For example, for Easter brunch, I had my signature cocktail, which Rosemary and I both really enjoy having a signature cocktail at our dinners because then you don't have to have a full bar available. And so I made for the first time Bloody Marys.
Okay.
And I've never made them from scratch before. So it was a brunch, but I wasn't serving champagne. I was having as a precursor to the brunch, we were all having a Bloody Mary. So again, your menu determines what kind of glassware or dinnerware or flatware that you're going to set at each place setting.
All right. We have Rosemary now also. Rosemary, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Let me lock you on also so I don't lose you guys. All right. Very good. I got Rosemary Burns and Linda Reed with us today from Manners Simply. All right. So we were going on about what not to put on the table because it will not match your meal.
Right.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Well, what your signature drink was Bloody Mary. Okay. Now, when you say signature drink, are you talking about doing some kind of specialty drink for the occasion where that's what you're going to expect your guests to drink?
It's typically during your cocktail hour, but that certainly happens even when you're serving a brunch like I did, because people are slowly arriving. Not everybody arrives at the same time. So if you have something for them to nibble on and a signature drink that they can just pour themselves and garnish themselves, and I had a little garnish bar set up so they could put pickled asparagus or pickled green beans or celery or olives that I had on picks. They could choose all kinds of different garnishments. And then my favorite was a friend had given me some bacon-flavored salt to put on the rim of the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like the bacon-flavored salt better than the drink.
Well, Marlene and I, what we do is we let everyone just pile up at the front door while she looks out the side window and goes, okay, everyone's here. Then I open the door and I go, welcome. Oh, you're all here. Probably not.
Yeah, that's great.
Marlene's listening.
Actually, I do that on Halloween.
You do that on Halloween?
Yeah, on Halloween, I have everybody meet outside because we have a haunted house inside.
Oh, wow.
So we usually have a separate night from Halloween, the night before, the night after. We have the kids on Halloween. But we have everybody gather outside, and then they all come in at once. We have the champagne outside.
Oh, that's cool. Now, you're talking about the adults, right?
Yeah, the adults. Yeah.
Yeah. You're the most popular house on the block for the kids. They serve champagne.
Right. Word gets out fast.
Word gets out fast.
She does have an awesome Halloween party with ghosts that crawl along the floor inside her house, and she's got dancing ghosts out in the front, and it's a totally, everybody wants to come. I've never even been. I've only seen videos.
I'm going to tell you, it's really hard to get an invitation to her house. I haven't gotten one yet.
We're going to plan a trip.
So don't feel bad. Yeah, I'd love to have you gals in the studio live one of these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll do it.
Maybe next time you're on the show, we'll plan it for you being here live.
Okay, sounds fun. Are we on the air right now?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Good. Hello, everyone.
Don't tell any of those jokes that you normally tell before we go on.
Yeah. Shh, you two behave yourselves. We're on the air.
We're trying.
Greg always behaves himself, so we don't have to worry about him.
That's right.
All right.
Back to the cocktails. On 4th of July, we have a big event at our house as we can see the fireworks from our deck from the country club. And so we have about 50 people or so. And we just have mojitos and margaritas. We just limit it because otherwise it just gets too involved. I have to have a bartender and whatnot. So we have just 2 drinks. So they can have just one drink and just offer their guests one drink and the water and not a non-alcoholic, and that keeps it easier and keeps the cost down for them. Is because I have so many people and there's be so much liquor, so different types, that we just keep it down to beer, mojitos, and margaritas.
Yeah, that's a smart way of going. Otherwise, it does get out of hand, especially with a group like 50 people or even 20 people. You'll have people say, "Oh, don't you have this kind of gin or don't you have that kind of vodka?" And you go, "No, next door does though. Go knock on their door."
Yeah, and you're so right. I've had people say, "Oh, I don't care for the Chardonnay. Do you have this brand or that brand?"
Yeah.
And I say, "Oh, yes, I do. I'll go get it." And I'm running back and forth getting it, or could you have this drink or that drink? And so it just gets
halfway back, you're looking at yourself going, "What the hell am I doing this for?" Come on.
So
all right, get a limited thing or your signature, what you call signature drink, which is a smart idea. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. One of the benefits of about having that signature drink, and especially when you're doing the food prep yourself and you're running around
Right.
like crazy before the guests get there, one of the beauty parts about it is even if somebody arrives early, that they can still occupy themselves, and it doesn't require the host or hostess to be there, and they can take care of themselves. And if you have in this case, if you just have some nuts or something like that, there's a couple of little easy nibble things for them to have with their drink. It makes your entertaining so much easier. People don't care if you're not on time with your meal, if they have something to drink and
That's
a little
right.
bit of something to eat.
That's absolutely right. And actually, I was thinking about that while you guys were talking. And a lot of times people kind of, I don't even use the concept of you're the caterer at your own event. And they shouldn't expect, a caterer to have 20 different type of drinks or even 20 different menu items. It's like, this is what the caterer is serving. You're going to like it. And just leave it at that. I mean, if you have someone that has a dietary problem with sugars or with fats or whatever, or whatever's going on these days, I've lost track, quite honestly. Gluten and everything else.
Gluten, dairy. Gluten, dairy, sugar. Yeah.
Gluten, dairy, sugar, and then of course you get your, in my catering days, we'd get once in a while we'd get someone that was having a wedding, but they go, well, there's 4 people that need a kosher meal. And luckily for us, we had a kosher, we had a big synagogue like 1 block away from us that had its own kitchen, and I befriended the gals in the kitchen, and they would prepare meals for me, of many meals that I needed to accommodate those special guests. But it wasn't as though, well, I'd like half kosher and half normal. And then I'd tell them just go to a kosher caterer, because I can't handle that. I don't want to handle that. But kind of consider yourself your own caterer or a caterer, and with your specialty drinks or your what you call signature drinks, it's a good idea. And that way it keeps you can stock up on your Bloody Marys or your margaritas or whatever, your mojitos or whatever you're going to make, and that's it. Or a bottle of wine that you have out, or maybe even beer, and limit it to that. Don't say, oh, we got an open bar, and then everyone goes, bat crazy on you.
Well, right, and a signature drink is usually the one drink that you've made up a creation yourself. And I think you and Marlene have a signature drink that you had mentioned before. And there's so many books on cocktails today. You can just pick up a cocktail book, and they're inexpensive, and pick one of the drinks and tweak it a little bit. It becomes your own signature drink.
Last hour,
just have that.
Yeah. Last hour we had Imbibe magazine, which is a cocktail magazine. And he's always talking about, have you ever heard of Imbibe magazine? Imbibe.
No. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Oh, you'll have to get a copy of it. It is a delicious magazine. It all has to do with beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and some stuff that you've never even heard of, and you try it and you go, oh, now this is really, really good. No, Marlene and Imbibe, IMBIBE, Imbibe.
Okay.
Marlene and I kind of overdid it on Cinco de Mayo on Friday, and well, I'm getting oh my God,
Technology, we know you're getting a phone call.
I know, and it's like I never get phone calls, and sorry, I talk right now. I'm not. We got a call from my mother around 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the show. She had locked herself out. So Marlene said, I'll go, because she wasn't feeling very well. So I said, okay. So I've been running the show myself. I've had 2 no-shows. It's like, I don't mean to whine, but it's like, give me a break. And now I get a phone call. Next thing I know, someone's going to streak by my window here. No, and everyone out there listening, don't get any ideas.
Really?
Yeah, because...
You were talking about your Cinco de Mayo, that you overdid it?
Oh, big time. Way too much big time.
Yesterday when I was watching the pre-show for the Kentucky Derby, I watched them create a drink, and it was a $2,500 mint julep.
$2,500 mint julep.
And I think some of the money was going to charity.
Oh, yeah.
And they used a specific type of and I guess it's bourbon that they have in Kentucky that's so
Kentucky
famous. But anyway, I've heard of this particular brand. It's like Woodward Reserve or something like that. Anyway, they garnished it beautifully because it's the bluegrass state. They put blue corn flowers on top of the crushed ice that was there, and they made this little bouquet of flowers that went, and they stuck it in there and had a little bit of mint on the side of it. But it just reminded me of everything. When you kind of stop and pick, Cinco de Mayo has its margaritas, or it might have your straight shots of tequila, but the Kentucky Derby has their mint juleps. So it's no different. Your own dinner party can have its own signature drink, and so it's not so uncommon. It might be uncommon for us as hosts and hostesses to think about it, but it makes our life so much easier. For one thing, you don't have to have all this different glassware that's an appropriate glassware for the type of drink you have. So
Correct.
If you're having a Bloody Mary, then you just use a tall Collins glass, and for that matter, you could put it in a margarita glass too. But it's hard.
It's a great idea, and it saves so much time and effort and wear and tear on the host or hostess or both. That that would be the way to go. We actually did tequila shots in excess on Friday evening at home, and Saturday we paid for it. The bill was due on Saturday. Oh my God, not good. Okay, enough about me. Let's see.
It also goes back to, if you're not serving salad, you don't need a salad plate or a salad fork. So,
Right.
As Linda was saying, the table setting, depends on what you're serving. So just keep in mind and look at what your menu is, and that will determine what your place setting is going to be like. And
We've been on for 10 minutes, and I'm just curious, is there any book out there that could show me what kind of table settings are out there?
I was just going to mention, there's an excellent book called Which Fork Do I Use?
I've heard of that book. It's an excellent book.
Yeah. It's available on Amazon or through our website, Which Fork Do I Use?
There you go.
.com.
Okay, well, we got it out of the way once. Let's see how many more times.
Yes, just once.
Once. No, it's a great book, gang, and the reason I was kidding around with her is if you're interested in table settings and things like that for regular formal dinnerware or formal dinners to your everyday mom and pop dinners to buffet lines and some etiquette rules in there, it's a great book. I loved that book, actually. So I bring these gals back on because they have a lot to teach us, and I want to make sure everybody is educated. Okay.
Well, the interesting thing when we were talking about the signature cocktails, we have a glassware reference page, and there's in excess of 50 glasses that are on that page, and they're all filled with the appropriate beverage that can go in those glasses. And for example, we demonstrate 6 different styles of champagne glasses, and there's probably 20 different types of wine glasses that we show, and that's only a small number of the types of glassware that's available. And then we have the cocktail glasses on there, and beer pilsners and the various beer glasses as well. So it does help people who don't have a clue as to what type of glass that they own,
right.
and what might be appropriate. But we're all about multi-purposing our glassware, really multi-purposing everything that we have. Just because it's supposed to be used for one thing, if that's all we have, we like to reuse it for something else as well.
There are no real hard set rules out there. It's what will work the best for what you're doing.
Right. We have also the timeline in our book. It talks about setting up a bar, teaches you how to set up a bar, but it's just getting started. Even those that have been started, entertaining and doing entertaining for quite some time, it's a nice reference of what you need to set up a bar that we might forget, like the limes or the lemons or just a few items like that will make it easier for you so you don't have to run back in during your dinner party and start slicing the lemons and limes. There's a timeline there for setting up the bar and also for setting up the table and placing the flatware in order of use. So you only need the flatware that you're going to use. If you're just going to need a fork and a knife, then the fork goes on the left-hand side, the knife, no, is that right? Yes, the knife goes on the right-hand side. You look at the book, it's like a little cheat sheet. there's a guideline there for setting the very basic table setting, even a 5-year-old can do it, onto a formal dinner. So the book entails everything that you need to know about setting the table, entertaining well, and gives you the confidence to do so. Also, we have theme parties, and Mother's Day is coming up. So it's a good idea to have a theme party and make it fun. A friend of mine's having a little masseuse come over and giving her mother a massage, a shoulder massage, while she's waiting for dinner. So there's some fun things in there for having some fun parties that keeps it easy. Even if you don't want to cook, ordering in or picking up a pizza and bringing it home, you can also add some personal touches to it to make it more personable.
Now, are either one of you two doing anything for your mothers, or your mother's still with us?
My mom, 96, has passed away last year. My son's taking me golfing, and he's fixing lunch for my husband and I afterwards.
To hear that, gang? A good son. They only had to bribe him with a college education and a car. And
that's right.
So, what you had to do...
Being a parent.
It's called being a parent. That's right. You would have had to do it anyway, but at least you get some residuals. All righty. Let's see here. Hang on. We're going to keep going here. Let's see. Remember what your mother told you. What's that all about?
Sit up straight. Rest both feet on the floor. Do not twist your feet around. Lay the very basics that go back to when we were, 3-4 years old. Wait for everyone to be served before you start eating. Remember the 2 words, please and thank you, and asking for the salt to be passed, or just for anything. Remember the basics of salt, of please and thank you.
Now,
eat quietly. Don't smack your lips.
Wow, they'd kick me out real fast.
With your mouth full.
We're all the same generation, and yeah, I understand all those, and we follow those. Do you think the younger generation, it's sinking in, or do you think it's kind of becoming a lost art?
I think it's becoming a lost art. I think it's slowly coming back in, but it's a challenge right now. I think a lot of the kids, it's all about them. It's all about me, and it's really difficult talking to some of the parents today. I just had a phone call last week, and the children just, in their minds, think it's not necessary. They think in the workforce, because the workforce has gotten so casual, and things are changing, if we like it or not. And my grandchildren, they're 26 and 24, and all the interviews are, on the internet. There's no personal. You don't go in till the very last. If you do it,
right.
They hire you, strictly online. Everything's so impersonal today that a lot of the manners are being lost, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I opened Marlene's door in her car at the home. I open the door for her all the time, and we've gotten stopped a few times where the lady will go, "Did you just open her door?" And I'll say, "Why, yes." And Marlene will say, "He does it for me every time." And it's something that you don't see very often. It's nice when I get to see it with someone else doing it, but I don't get to see it that often. It's like it's becoming a lost art, and that's why I brought it up, because it's something that should be brought back. It is a neat thing to do. I had someone I knew that said, "Oh, my wife wouldn't want me to do that. She could open the door herself." I go, "Well, obviously, she can open the door for herself, but that's not the point." And
it's important because as they get a job and they find out that they need people and they need basic manners to get along with everyone,
right,
and self-respect and respecting each other, they're not going to climb the ladder, the corporate ladder, without it. And they're not going to find out till later in life. It's unfortunate that they're going to have to work so hard down the pipeline to achieve.
I think another problem is with our PC culture, that if you're at the workplace and you hold a door open for a woman anymore, it could be considered sexist. There's a fine line there, which is just becoming so blurred these days that
it is very blurred.
You can't say to a woman anymore, "Wow, you look really nice today," and it's sexual harassment. It's a shame.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, enough of.
I think, Greg, just to go back just for half a second and talking about opening a door for someone in the workplace, and there is a division between what's social and what's business. So you may have grown up the gentleman where they would rise at the table when a woman would approach the dinner table.
Oh, yeah.
And they did that out of respect, and then they would help her with her chair.
Right.
and that's still considered correct if you've been taught to do it. And frankly, myself, I love it, because here you are balancing on your 4-inch high heels and perhaps a long dress that's you've got to get the skirt picked up and around so that it doesn't, the chair legs don't catch it and that sort of thing. So I personally appreciate that sort of thing. But in the workplace, there are different parameters.
There are lines.
And so, yes, and so and I noticed on TV recently where there were a couple of people during one of those White House meetings that they had, and they showed, and they weren't. That wasn't the topic to show that this gentleman, and I don't know who it was, but he had held out the chair for another woman approaching the table. Now, it isn't in business; it's not required. But in the social life, it's still acceptable, and we think that it's an important thing for people to do.
You think Europeans are holding on more to the old traditions than Americans?
Well, I haven't traveled abroad over there, but Rosemary has, and she could probably better answer that.
I would say no. I would say they're losing it also.
They're losing it also.
The older generation still has it, of course, but the younger generation, no. I think
That's a shame in our society that things like that are being lost. That's just my take on things.
Well, and hopefully it'll come around again, like most things in life do.
True. Hey, let's get to, before we run out of time, table talk. So can we talk trash about people that aren't there?
Table talk's important. One thing I would say is that don't talk about anyone that can't defend themselves.
Well, they can if they were there, but that's their fault.
Yes, exactly. So that means no. Also, when you're having a dinner party, I think it's important that you seat guests next to someone that they have something compatible to talk about. You know,
that's right. Your husband is the dentist that did those fabulous dentist talks.
Right.
Right, yeah. Send him next to somebody saying, "Oh, I got a hold of some really good Novocaine the other day." No?
Yeah.
Invite me to one of those. I'll have fun there.
Okay.
They won't have any idea where the hell I came from.
I'm sure we can sit you next to anyone.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, and also not to monopolize the conversation. Sometimes you'll get going on something, and if you look around and you see that your guests are halfway through their meal and your plate is still full, then you realize that you're monopolizing the conversation and you're talking too much and not giving your fellow people ample time to talk.
Now,
I think that's...
I've done some charity dinners where I'm cooking, and I have a wait staff with me, and the staff will come in and say, "It's all a bunch of accountants. No one's talking to each other." And I've actually had to go in there and fire up conversations in order to get the ball rolling. And have you found that?
Yes, and I just went to a dinner party. Actually, 11 of us women went to Mexico for a week, and the host had a fun event. What she did is she had a little game at the dinner party. Mm-hmm. So we're all sitting there at the table, and she played this little game. It was a topic that she brought up, and everyone had to say something about that topic. It was an easy topic. It was something fun.
Okay.
And so she said that she plays a lot of table talk, that if she's sitting at the table and she sees that there's not conversation going on, someone's being left out, she passed these little numbers around. She just tore up a napkin and passed them around. They had a number on it, and everyone picked a number, and she picked the topic. It could be Trump, or it could be something that everyone was going to have an opinion on. Okay. And if you didn't want to have an opinion on it, you could just say pass. But it made for an evening. It made for a nice evening. So I thought that was a good idea, also.
Well, you also don't want to get them, start up with a subject where it's going to piss half of them off, and the other half are going to agree, and the other half are going to disagree too.
Right.
Know your crowd. Know your crowd.
Yeah, know your crowd. Know your crowd and know what you're discussing, and keep it light and fun.
I actually had to go into, there was a bunch of accountants, and they're not talking to each other, Greg. They're just staring at looking at each other. This was all from the same office. So I go, all right. So I went in there and I said, you guys are going to have to just keep it down. I'm trying to cook out there, and you guys are too loud. And then they laughed, and then I told them a little story, and they all started rambling on, and I just kind of left the room, and they didn't even notice I was probably gone. That started them. So I go, come on. We know you people are. We know you CPAs are wild in the outside the office. Everyone knows that. Not as exciting or as rowdy as a dentist conference, but other than that.
You can always ask them what their embarrassing moment was, or a happy, something like that. Everybody has a story to tell, and people love listening to stories.
And people actually say what their most embarrassing or what an embarrassing thing that happened to them is?
Yeah, and we'll say to them, say something the most embarrassing. And if you don't have anything, just make something up, and they'll laugh and they'll say something. We don't know if it's true or not true.
Get a good sign of a good host or hostess is getting the conversation going, making sure that your guests are having a good time.
Yeah, they're all comfortable. Yes,
that's your job. Okay, let's get on to, let's see. We got serving tips and dining tips. So what do you want to talk about? A sit-down or a buffet or what?
Either. Do you want to go first?
Well, I think that when you're talking about, let's just say that you arrive at a dinner party and you don't know what to do. And particularly if you have younger people that are coming to a group that haven't had a lot of sit-down dinners and they don't know, let's just say that it's a business dinner that you're having at your house, and this person that's arrived is wanting to make sure that they make a good impression, and they get there and they see that it's going to be a several-course dinner, and they have no idea what to do.
Right.
So that and this can be, in some cases, can be a career ender if you have a job that you have to go out and dine with a lot of your clients. So the first thing is, if you're unsure what to do, then just follow the lead of the host. And the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is that you don't dive in and start to serve yourself. If it's a meal that's not being passed or served as a plated meal, then you don't want to reach out there and take a serving of vegetables or a serving of mashed potatoes or whatever it is before the host has opened the dinner party. And she may do that with a welcome toast, have a drink of champagne, welcome the guests or whatever.
She initiates the serving.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Little story. My dad, when he was in his single days, one of his friends married a Seventh-day Adventist girl, and they invited him over. Oh, we got a really nice girl for you to meet, and they for dinner. So my dad's friend, and his wife, and this young lady were at the table. My dad sits down, and the wife brings out this platter with 2 steaks on it. And my dad looks at it and goes, 2 steaks for 4 people? And he didn't know. And the husband takes his fork and pokes one of the steaks and plops it on his table. And my dad looked and go, okay, well, this, and they all start to laugh because the women don't eat meat. But he didn't know that. So they were screwing with him. Anyway, I don't even know why I told that story, but it was fun. They all just started roaring because he was being polite, and he says, well, I'm not going to take the last steak. I mean, the women don't even have anything. And my Cretan friend here grabbed half the meat. But one steak was for him and one steak was for my dad. And my dad didn't understand that the other 2 don't eat meat. And so they all got a big laugh out of it. And I don't think anything happened because that's not my mom today. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so let the host or hostess initiate the service. Correct?
Right. And the same thing goes with the table napkins and everything. The host that table napkin has its own signals, so they'll remove the napkin from the place setting and place it in their lap. And at that point, they either make a toast, and in some houses they may say grace first.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you don't want to start eating before any of these formalities have started. So then the host, if it's a passed meal where you're passing the bowls and the platters, then the host will start passing that to the right, and it will go around the table so that the host herself is served last.
Right.
So she's offering it to that first, and so that the guest of honor seating position is the place that is to the right of the host. And so they're the ones that get served first. So if it was either plated or if it was passed, then they're the person that would receive it.
And everyone should wait, no matter when you're served, should wait till the last service is done, or the last person fills their plate or gets their plate before you start eating?
Correct. As a rule, that's correct, unless it's plated and the hostess tells you to get started. It might be something that's going to chill quickly, and she might say, please start eating.
Okay.
And then whatever she says. Also, remember to serve to the right, remove from the left, the very basics. All this information is in our book, Which Fork Do I Use?
What was the name of that book again?
Which fork do I use?
Oh, I just missed that. Okay.
All this is information is listed in our book, like serve to the right, remove from the left. Knife blades are facing in towards the plate, glasses on the right, napkins the left side of the plate. This is very basics. It's all in our book. Which fork do I use?
Good. I'm glad you got that out. Hey, I'm left-handed, and the world runs off of right-handers, and setting your table actually benefits left-handers. It's the only thing in the world that benefits left-handers because your fork's in your left hand.
Eating continental style, it definitely benefits the left-handers.
There you go. El Continental. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the only reprieve I get in this world is when I get to eat.
And one nice thing I like to do, and Linda does also, is announce to your guests that dinner's going to be served in 10 minutes. That gives them a chance to finish their drink, go to the bathroom. Nothing's worse than, you announce dinner, you have your soup on the table or whatever you're serving.
You're trying to...
Four of the guests have to go to the ladies' room or put their lipstick on or whatnot. If you give them a 10-minute notice, it gives them time to go do what they have to do, make a quick phone call or take care of whatever they need to take care of before sitting down.
And you're trying to herd cats at that time. I understand.
Yes.
We are out of show, ladies. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time. Remember, what's that book called again?
Which fork do I use?
There you go. All right, we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Tell Marlene we missed her.
You got it. Bye-bye. Hey, gang. Another show. This was a rough one. I had fun. I hope you did too. Remember, do something nice for your mom. Hey, remember, keep your hot foods hot and your cold foods cold. Why? Because flavor is everything. Bye. Oh, I want to thank everybody. Hey, want to thank my sponsors, MZ, all you listeners out there, Jason the Man. Thank you. Have a great day. Talk to you next week.
KSCO, Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Pam Coulter. Waving the French flag and carrying signs saying "Love Trump's Hate," thousands of people outside the Louvre Museum are celebrating the independent centrist Emmanuel Macron's win in the French presidential election. He easily beat far-right populist Marine Le Pen. He spoke to the nation as we hear through an interpreter.
I am, with humility and with devotion, with determination, I'm going to serve France in your name.
Vive la République.
Long live the Republic.
Vive la France.
Long live France.
Political analyst Agnes Poirier says it's a new world in France.
It's the first time we elect a president without a party. So, massive challenges. Tonight he will be rejoicing, and so will, I think, 2/3 of the French nation, and tomorrow, so much work to be achieved.
President Trump tweeted his